Hello everyone, I'm Norbert Williams, right here on Sky FM 93.1. Join me Monday to Friday, 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. for the morning edition of Keeping It Real. And on Tuesdays and Fridays, Minerva Ward joining me from Canada, right near the North Pole. Although it's cold over there, it's gonna be hot in here. Don't you forget, Monday to Friday, 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. on GVD TV and streaming live on Facebook. Don't you miss it. And we're on. Those of you in the diaspora and those of you wherever else you are, thank you so much for joining and waiting for us this morning. Germany, Antigua, Barbados, US of A, all over the US Virgin Islands, St. Croix, Jamaica is here, Martinique, Canada, Cayenne, Guadeloupe, Trinidad and Tobago. We have somebody in Costa Rica, London, England. Good morning to all of you. And those of you everywhere else, too many to call off. South Africa, South Korea is here this morning. Good morning to you. New Zealand, hi, how you doing? Seychelles, good morning. Minerva, you all over the world. What's going on? You traveling, unlike some people who apparently never went anywhere. You know, I don't know what's going on. You wanna say hello to anybody out there?
Good morning, St. Lucia. Good morning, Beaufort and Labey and Dennery, Soufrière, Corinth Estate, Union, Timon, Cap Estate. Good morning. Good morning, Castries. Good morning, Sanssouci. Just good morning, St. Lucia, both at home and abroad. Lots of St. Lucians tuned in abroad as well. Yeah.
Oh, that's
We are
great.
very, very engaged diaspora. So good morning to you all around the world, wherever you may be.
Okay, so here we go. It's up there. Right. Right.
So our technology is up and running, Norbert?
Well,
All
something
good?
like that. Something like that. Just about. Just about. Just one more thing here. So you can call out a few other places in St. Lucia that you know of. How about that?
You like to test me, Norbert?
Well, what do you think
You're
you're
always
here
trying to
for?
set me up.
Not at all. Not at all.
You're always trying to set me up.
Bexon and Mark. You know those places?
Of
Cul-de-sac.
course I know these places.
Yeah, well,
You're showing off now, Norbert.
no,
I know I'm overdue for a visit, but you're showing off right now.
no, not really. Not really. So how's the weather over there today? It's a, if I could say a balmy. It's a balmy. Let's see here now. 79 degrees in St. Lucia at 5:39 this morning. It's going up to a high of 84. How's the weather by you?
It's minus 4 degrees Celsius. Feels like minus 11. It's supposed to snow lightly today. Most of the snow has, well, not most of it. Some of it has been melting already, but it's supposed to snow slightly today. That's fine. Spring is almost here. All our ice roads are out, basically melted.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
So up where I live, you could basically in the wintertime drive to different communities. The river freezes. It's a huge river delta. Freezes, and you can literally drive over the ice roads, big, heavy 18-wheeler trucks. But in the springtime, you can't because obviously the river melts. So I think yesterday was a day where the river finally melted and it became
Really?
unsafe for. Yeah, yeah, not just unsafe. You can't drive on the river anymore. It's a mix of water and big chunks of ice flowing downstream.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Interesting. So,
yeah.
folks, we
Hmm.
have something interesting for you to listen to, and we're gonna get into it. It was a statement made in the House by none other than the leader of the opposition, and it's ruffled a lot of feathers here in St. Lucia and around the world,
Hmm.
especially in the diaspora. And some people
Hmm.
didn't take it too kindly, what was
Hmm.
said. And let me just get that.
Hmm.
St. Lucia is home to me. Stand by.
Hmm.
You ready for it?
Yes.
Okay, stand by. What I'm going to do, folks, is to bring you Philip J. Pierre in all his glory last week, Friday, in that long winded campaign speech, because that's what it was. Because I tried listening to it a number of times. I was saying to myself, but what does this really have to do with the budget? But of course, in usual
Hmm.
fashion, the SLP goes about every day, every
Hmm.
opportunity in the House to campaign. And too many times people have asked me, and I've heard people ask the question on social media and in person and everywhere else, but what does that have to do with anything? So I will let you listen to this here so you can come to your own conclusion. It's very interesting to listen to. So let's go to that one right now. Philip J. Pierre last week Friday in the House of Parliament during the budget debate. Like we say in St. Lucia, the budget debate. Well, this is Philip J. Pierre's presentation, which, like I said, has many people shaking their heads.
Else in my life, and I will live nowhere else. I will live
Well, let's try that
more
again.
bitterly, Mrs. Speaker.
Here we go.
But St. Lucia is home to me. I've lived nowhere else in my life, and I will live nowhere else. I will live in St. Lucia, Mr. Speaker. I have an interest in seeing St. Lucia do better. I have one passport. I have one citizenship. That's all I have. I have nowhere to go. I have to stay in this country.
So you heard that, right?
Hmm. Yep.
I have
Hmm.
what does that mean? You have
Hmm.
nowhere to go. You have one passport. St. Lucia is home to me. Is St. Lucia home
Oh,
to
but I
you,
think
Minerva?
no, I don't live in St. Lucia, but St. Lucia is home to me. No, but that statement bothers me on so many different levels. I have one passport. St. Lucia is home to me. I have an interest in St. Lucia. What is Philippe saying exactly? Is he saying that St. Lucians who have migrated abroad for whatever reason are not interested in St. Lucia? It's not home to them. They have no vested interest in St. Lucia. What exactly is Philippe saying? I think that statement is reckless, it's dangerous, and it needs to be unpacked.
But
Norbert,
you
just
see,
you want to play it again? I want St. Lucians to hear that statement again. Can you play it again?
you there we go. Let's get that.
Hmm.
Okay, here we go. Stand by for that. There we go.
Even more bitterly, Mrs. Speaker, But St. Lucia is home to me.
St. Lucia is home to me. Let's break it down. Well, it's home to me too. It's
Right,
home to
right.
Alan Chasney. It's home to Stevenson King. It's home to the market vendor in town there, setting up
Yep.
to sell
Yep.
dashing or whatever. It's home to all of us. So let's go further.
No, but even for us in the diaspora, that statement, St. Lucia, while we may not physically reside in St. Lucia most of the year, most of us have a vested interest. We have investments in St. Lucia. Some people have homes in two places, right? We may have a home in St. Lucia where we spend parts of the year, where you understand? It's home to us. Home doesn't have to be a physical location. Home could be a place in your heart.
Yes.
You know, I always speak about St. Lucia as home. So what does that home mean? You know, what does a home look like? Is it a physical house? Is it a place, you know, an address, a roof over your head? Home doesn't necessarily have to be a physical location. You know? Okay, let's go on.
Well, hold on one second there. Let me just continue for you there because, you know, we have to. There we go. I have to take this in its entirety. There we go.
I've lived nowhere else in my life.
I've lived nowhere else in my life. Now, we have to take this in the context because what Philip J. Pierre was doing there is validating himself
Yes. Yes.
to run
Yes.
and to be Prime Minister of St.
Yes.
Lucia. In essence, that's what he's saying.
Yeah.
Because he goes on
Yes.
further, but we'll get to that. So he's saying, I've lived nowhere else, so
Yeah.
I'm an authentic St. Lucian.
Yeah.
That's what he's saying.
So what does that make us St. Lucians who have lived other places?
What that makes me?
Are we unauthentic St. Lucians? Exactly. What does that make you? What does that make me? What does that make so many of our families? So many people listening this morning. What does that make you?
So let me ask you the
unauthentic
big
St.
question.
Lucians?
Let me ask you the big question. So what does that make Julian Alfred, who lives
Yeah,
out of St. Lucia?
exactly.
How does that make?
Yeah.
Let's go even further. How does that make? Let me see. How does that make Nina Compton? What does it make her?
Yeah.
Does it make
what does
Philip
that-
J. Pierre more or less St. Lucian than her? Or make
Yeah.
her
Well,
less of a St. Lucian than him?
Yeah, our two Nobel laureates, they're deceased now. But what did that make them? They both have lived abroad for parts of their
Long
lives.
time. Long
Yeah.
times.
What does that make them? Unauthentic St. Lucians? Unpatriotic St. Lucians? Traitors to St. Lucia? Because we have lived overseas for part of our lives?
Let's keep going.
What does that make us exactly? A second-rate St. Lucian to Philippia?
Yeah. Let's keep going.
And I will live nowhere else.
And I will live nowhere else. So again, he's saying, well, if you stuck here in St. Lucia, if you stay here, you don't go anywhere else, it means that you're genuine. You have 100% interest of St. Lucia at heart.
I will live in St. Lucia, Mr. Speaker. I have an interest in seeing St. Lucia do better.
You see the context in which he said it?
Yeah.
I have an interest.
So if you have lived overseas, if you have lived abroad for part of your life, you don't have the same interest as him, as seeing St. Lucia do better?
As pure of an interest.
As pure of an interest. So Kenny Anthony didn't have as pure of an interest in seeing St. Lucia do better because Kenny had lived
In
out of
Guyana.
St. Lucia for part of his life.
Yeah.
Yeah. That statement is highly disturbing. So you're insulting St. Lucians who are living abroad, saying we don't have as pure interest as you in the interest of St. Lucia? I mean, what exactly are you saying when you're trying to validate yourself? You know?
You see, we have to understand again the context of what's going on here. And within the SLP, let's keep it real, folks. This is what the show is. Let's keep it real. There are those in there, besides Zafeo, but it's our business too, who are deeply opposed to Philip J. Pierre. And the push of the supporters of Philip J. Pierre in there, and he has said it himself, it's basically, in essence, it's due to him. Because he's been there so long. He's run so long. He's been in the SLP so long. He's given his time in office so long that, in essence, it's a fait accompli. He should be the one.
Well, but that's what I heard from Philippe's entire statement, Norbert. There's a part of it you didn't play where he talked about the fact that he's a black man.
Well, that's
You know,
coming
his
next.
par-
It's coming.
Okay. It's that sense of entitlement for leadership that I seem to get from Philippe, that somehow his longevity in it, the fact that he's never left St. Lucia, the fact that he has no other passport, somehow makes him entitled to leadership. Not necessarily because he has the talents, not necessarily because he has a skill set, not necessarily because he has a vision, but somehow because he's been in the trenches for so long. You know, it's that old civil service mentality. You know, you're entitled to a promotion because you've been there longer
That's right.
than somebody
That's
who
right.
have just come in, who may be far more capable and competent than you. But
Qualified.
because by virtue of your long service,
Yes.
you are entitled.
Yes.
And that's what I get from Philippe.
But you know, strange, he said that his mother was a teacher. Nothing about his mother. I didn't know her. I didn't know his
Yeah.
father. I was in the police
Yeah.
force as well. I don't know who his father was. Maybe I do. I don't know. But way back then, and exactly what you were talking about, the civil service, even in the police force, longevity of service is what got you moving up. You could do nothing. But you
Right.
there 15
Yeah,
years,
exactly.
mi se hala assez longtemps, man. Fais mi se sergeant.
Yeah.
Fais mi se
Yeah.
supervisor in the government
Yeah.
service or wherever.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's the way, because, and I'm not talking about his academic qualifications, but people felt that even though all you had was a school living certificate a long time
Yeah.
ago, that you've been on the job long enough
Yeah.
and you know it,
Yeah.
and it's due to you
Yeah.
now, man. Ou passaporte pièce on sorti de wo, ek vini devant
Yeah.
monsieur.
Yeah.
Now,
yeah.
what he's
But
trying
Robert,
to
that's
do there,
That's probably.
what he's trying to do
Go on,
there
sorry.
is to challenge his naysayers. Yeah, man. I'm black
Yeah.
enough, man. I'm St. Lucian enough.
But going back to the point about longevity, that's problematic, Norbert, because people have this mindset that I know the job, I've been in it for 10 years, I've been in it for 15 years, I've been in it for 20 years. That mentality is problematic because you could be in a job for 10, 15, 20 years and doing the same thing over and over and over and over with no fresh ideas,
That's
nothing
right.
new,
That's
no
right.
novelty,
That's right.
no change, the inability to adapt to new technology,
exposure.
the inability to adapt to no exposure, the inability to adapt to changing global conditions or changing conditions, right? And we've seen a failure of so many companies around the world, so many businesses, so many industries that have fallen because of their inability to changing conditions.
Yeah.
We've seen the demise of Blockbuster, we've
Yeah.
seen the demise of the film industry and so on.
That's right.
This mentality that because you've been there for 10, 15, 20 years and you have longevity, you're somehow more entitled is problematic. As a matter of fact, in Canada, you hardly see job advertisements asking for 10, 15 years experience. You don't, because it's not about how long you've been in the job, it's what you have been able to achieve
That's
on the
right.
job.
That is
right?
right. That is right.
And that is the problem with Philippe Pierre. So while he may be in the role for 25 years, what is his record of success
that's the
as
question.
an MP?
That's the question.
What is his record of success? And he cannot answer that question.
And the big
because
question,
beyond his state,
Is Marshall. What was
Go on.
his accomplishment in
Absolutely.
Marshall? That
Absolutely.
is what they've been trying to get away from facing. What has the name of Philip J. Pierre on it? I'm not talking about physical or in Marshall. I'm talking about St. Lucia. His tenure of service. What has Philip J. Pierre's name that you can, it just jumps out at you and says, Philip J. Pierre!
yeah, yeah.
What is it?
Yeah. I can't think of any. He's represented his Cashews East for 25 years. That's it. What has he to show for it? I mean, you have a man like Herod who's been a parliamentary for 5 years. Look at the
Thank
transformation
you.
in Soufrière in 5 years.
Exactly.
What is Philip Pierre's beyond his length of service, his 25 years? 25 years and what? What is there for you to show for your 25 years?
You have to keep
That
searching.
you have this sense of entitlement that because you've been there for 25 years, you deserve to be prime minister. You have to be prime minister. You're entitled to be prime minister. Anyway, let's go on with his
Let's
statement.
go on
Norbert.
with this a little bit here.
I have one passport.
I have one passport.
I have one citizenship. That's all I have. I have nowhere to go. I have to stay in this country.
He has nowhere to go. He has one passport. He has nowhere to go. So in essence, he's saying that if you have more than one passport, 2 passports, if you're a citizen of another country, you have somewhere to go, so you can't care about St. Lucia as much as him.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
So that if
Yeah.
you come from the diaspora, or you come from somewhere else and you've been living there for a
Yeah.
long while,
Yeah.
you can't challenge him.
Mhm.
That's what he's
Yeah.
saying.
Or if you, as so many St. Lucians, we have people have their children abroad, right? These children are somehow less entitled than him. These children are somehow less patriotic than him. Somehow these children are less St. Lucian than him. You know, if you have more than one passport, or love St. Lucia less than him, what is Philip Pierre saying?
Don't worry, we're getting back to the next kahuna now. And this one is going to be very, very deep. Very deep, people. So I want you to listen very carefully. And it's going to be coming up in just a second. Just a second. There we go. In 3, 2, 1. What's he saying? He's not saying anything. Let's go back a little bit. He doesn't want to talk this morning.
The law is concerned, Mr. Speaker.
Here we go.
Mr. Speaker, the St. Lucia Labour Party that I have the honor to lead wants to reassure St. Lucia that our country needs caring leadership. And only people who care can provide that leadership. I, Philip Joseph Pierre, am a proud product of St. Lucia.
You hear that? Caring leadership. And then he says, I am a proud product of St. Lucia. Aren't we all? Isn't everybody here? But we know where that proud product thing is going.
Yeah.
It's all in the big context. So let's go again.
I was born and nurtured in St. Lucia.
Okay, you hear that? Let's keep going. Take time to digest it, folks. Let's go.
My mother was a teacher and my father was a policeman. They provided profit to country. They provided service to country, not service for profit.
So, what's wrong if you provide service for profit? Does everybody work for free? They provided service for country. They did that for free, or they were paid?
No, but teachers make a huge contribution to St. Lucia. Police make a huge contribution to St. Lucia. There's nothing wrong with neither. Neither is there anything wrong with being an entrepreneur in St. Lucia. We know in an effort for Philip Pierre to validate himself, he wants to compare and contrast with Alan Chastney, right? And that is the divisiveness of Philip Pierre and the Labour Party. You right? So there's no need, when you're boosting yourself, there's no need to put down somebody else. Why are you highlighting the fact that your parents are served? There is nothing, neither is there anything wrong with Michael Chastney as an entrepreneur. Michael Chastney employed hundreds of St. Lucians.
Thousands.
Right? Thousands of St. Lucians across his multiple business lines. There's nothing wrong with that. They all made a contribution. Your mom as a teacher, your dad as a policeman, and so too Michael Chastney as a businessman. Nothing wrong with any. We need all of those
Everybody makes
all
their
of those professions
contribution
in St. Lucia. Absolutely. Absolutely. So what exactly was his point?
But you see the point there, which many people may miss, is that Philip J. Pierre constantly feels the need or the urgency to validate himself.
Himself, yes.
Right? He constantly needs to validate himself, and that may very well be because of the intense opposition within his own party's ranks against him.
Right.
And he is overcompensating for that by, at almost every opportunity, trying to say what he's accomplished or how dedicated he is. You don't have to do that if your work speaks for itself.
Absolutely.
If you speak, your actions speak for you.
Absolutely. Self-praise is no recommendation, Norbert.
And that was the budget,
speaking for him.
That was the budget debate. That was a budget debate talking about what? You see that?
No, but it goes back to this mentality of Philip Pierre that St. Lucians have to be homogenous. You can only be one thing or the other. And we know that is not true. You can be a proud product of St. Lucia.
Yes.
You can be a proud product of Canada too. I'm a proud product of St. Lucia. I'm also a proud product of Canada.
There you go.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
There you
There's
go.
absolutely nothing wrong with that. All of my nieces and nephews are proud products of both St. Lucia and Canada. Nothing wrong with that.
But you
Many
see,
of us listening to this program today, hold on, no,
Yeah.
but again, have children born abroad.
that's right.
Who would like to, either they live in St. Lucia or they don't live in St. Lucia, but want to one day come home and make their contribution. What does that say to us? Our group of St. Lucians who live in the diaspora or who have more than one passport, are we second-class citizens? Are we unpatriotic? Is there a role for us in the development of Philippine St. Lucia? This is a very dangerous narrative. It disenfranchises so many people, so many of us who live abroad, including his own supporters. It sends a wrong message. But Norbert, you see, and that goes back to the Philippines. While trying to validate himself, the attacks on Alan Chastanet, because ultimately that's his goal, to attack Alan Chastanet.
Yes.
No, but the truth of the matter is, St. Lucia, we are a melting pot of races. We are a melting pot. We are not one thing. We all mix up, no, but
Jambalaya.
you all mix up, I all mix up, all of us, we all mix up. This narrative that you're a black man, so you somehow entitled. What does that say to
Let me
to
look at the
Indian
screen.
St. Lucians?
Do you think I'm the right shade? How far do you go on the shade, on the spectrum of black to white or black to beige
No, but-
or black? How black do you have to be? Which black is black enough?
No, but according to Philippia, you probably will not be black enough to be St. Lucian because you're not black. You're not black enough.
I'm not
So
black
now
like
we're
him.
comparing our
I'm not
skin
black
tones.
like him.
Right. Exactly. So now we're comparing the color
Skin
of our
tones.
skins to decide if we, right?
Now,
To decide
isn't this
if
the
we-
whole
we-
thing about
we-
racism, that you judge a person because
but-
of the color of their skin?
No, but this is the divisive rhetoric the Labour Party has been playing from the time Alan Chastanet became political leader of the UWP. They have gone after him because of the color of his skin. But what they do not realize that St. Lucia, again, we are a melting pot of races. No, but I have an Indian mother, a black father. What does that make me? I'm not black enough to be Prime Minister of St. Lucia. You're not black enough because you're shabbing, right?
Am I
What does that
shabbing?
say
Am I
to
a
Indian
shabbing?
St. Lucians?
Am I a shabby?
Yes, you are, Norbert. What does that say to mixed St. Lucians, to half-white St. Lucians? What about does it say to the Syrians who have been here for 50 years, whose children are born in St. Lucia? They are not entitled to lead St. Lucia at some point? They're not entitled to contribute to St. Lucia? They're good enough to be business people, but they can't be in the politics of St. Lucia? What does that say about Ernest Hilaire, who is himself mixed? What does that say about Kenny Anthony, who is by himself biracial? What does that say to so many of us who are biracial, who are mixed? What does it say to us? We are less entitled than him because he's black. What this divisive nature of the Labour Party's politics, I continue to say we are too small a nation to play that level of divisive politics. We don't want to become Trinidad, which is the politics is divided along racial lines. We don't want to go there, and we St. Lucians need to speak out and stand against it. This politics of division, where we start measuring how St. Lucian we are, because that's what Philippia is doing. We are now putting degrees of how St. Lucian we are by how black our skin is, by how long we've been in the politics, by how humble our background is. So what if Alan Chastanet was born into a better economic circumstance than some people?
Whose
So
fault is that?
What? Isn't that what we aspire for our children? Isn't that what we all work for our children, to give them a better life than we had? So what if Michael Chastanet has worked hard to make sacrifices for his children and was afforded to give Alan Chastanet a better life?
No,
So
no,
what?
Minova. Oh, no. You have to give people, man. What you have too much. But doesn't let's keep it real this morning, folks. Let's keep it real. I'm right here with you. Doesn't everybody want their children to marry somebody who's doing well? Ah, mi se pa faire rien, man. Mi se pa ka travail. Get somebody who has a profession, somebody who's doing something, can make some money. Don't you want your grandchildren to grow up better than you? Your children to grow up better than you? So you're telling me that somewhere along the way, because somebody's child or grandchild had parents who worked hard and life is better for them than the people who, whatever their circumstances were or are not as well off as them, that they're more qualified? Because he says they gave service to country, his parents. My mother was a teacher, humble. That's what he's coming at. My father was a policeman. So what? What does that say about you? What's your record? What have you done? That is the important thing. Because how many people we know who have fantastic parents and they're absolute bums? No gooders. They're not contributing on yet. So you have to speak for yourself. Your record must speak for itself, not just being a deputy.
Absolutely.
Whose family lives in out of St. Lucia? Does that make them less of a St. Lucian or less qualified to be prime minister in St. Lucia? Do any of the parliamentarians have offspring, children who live out of St. Lucia? Do any of the parliamentarians married?
Does he have offspring and live outside of St. Lucia?
Well, I don't know.
I mean, how
ignorant is ignorant. Ignorant.
Yeah, ignorant. Look at your own home. If you have children who live outside of St. Lucia, how could you be knocking people who live outside of St. Lucia? Right? Going back to that point about his parents and the jobs they did as civil servants. Thank them for their service. Absolutely, but also equally nothing wrong with Michael Chasney. Michael Chasney was knighted for his service and contribution to St. Lucia as a businessman.
That's right. And the SLP concurred back then. They bestowed all accolades and whatever on him.
Absolutely. Back in the 1960s, 70s, 80s, 90s, Michael Chasney has been a businessman contributing beyond the jobs, creating economic opportunities for St. Lucia. We saw the first of many under Michael Chasney. Gable Woods Mall. We never had a mall in St. Lucia before Michael Chasney. Give the man his due. Don't try and take it away from him by saying your parents are a teacher and a policeman.
Now it's a bad thing.
They all had their role
now
to
it's
play
a bad thing.
in the shaping of society. Again, that's what they like to do, demonize things. So you demonize entrepreneurship now? So people who are entrepreneurs and business people, because they didn't serve, because they created business opportunities and profit for themselves and their families, there's something wrong with that? You demonizing entrepreneurship now? But that goes back to the myopia of Philippe and how narrow-minded his thinking is, how limited he is. And no, but that's the thing, without thinking, he's even hitting and demonizing the experience you get by living internationally. He's even demonizing that. But how could living overseas be a bad thing? How could international experience ever be a bad thing? Isn't that a good thing? Don't we all aim to send our children to university in the first world? Don't we all aim to do that? Don't we all aim to live abroad for a while, to broaden our vision, to broaden our minds, to come back home and contribute to that knowledge?
That's right.
Isn't that what we go overseas for? So many of us like me.
And what do they say? In St. Lucia, they talk about, Philip JP has spoken about it, about first world countries. So why mention first world countries? Because the exposure you get, people, you hear your parents, you hear your grandparents, you hear it in school, that you have to see the world, experience different cultures, eat different foods, see how people are doing things differently, because people tell you all the time that your mind, and maybe that is what is afflicting Philip JP, his mind is constrained by the borders of St. Lucia. In this world.
No, but ring the bell. That is exactly the point. Philippe needs to travel. He needs to travel and he needs to see the world. His mind is too constrained, not just by the borders of St. Lucia, because Philippe hardly leaves his constituency. Now, because election is nigh, or is near, you see Philippe making the rounds around St. Lucia, but Philippe hardly leaves his constituency.
Yep.
I don't see pictures of Philippe about in the last month leaving his constituency.
What does he say?
He needs to broaden his horizons.
What does he say? I don't eat no guavas. I don't eat no local bread. I don't go to no supermarket. Philip JP is telling you he ain't participating in nothing. Where he's like a recluse grasping at what? Tomatoes.
No, but when you hear the Prime Minister speak, last night I listened to him speak on Inside Castries East with Guy Joseph and Champagne.
Southeast.
He is able to draw so many examples from his travels abroad, from him living abroad. So many examples, so many best case scenarios. See the world's best practices and bring that back to St. Lucia. That is why he's able to build a world-class St. Lucia, because he's seen examples from all over the world. But if you have hardly left St. Lucia, if you've not traveled, if your mind has not broadened, how do you, you have no reference point. How do you expect to build a world-class St. Lucia?
I gave it a bell today. today. I
in
gave the bell.
St.
I gave the
Lucia.
bell. I gave the
Thank
bell
you.
today.
Thank you. How do you expect you try to lead a country in a global environment? How
There
do you
you
expect
go.
to lead a country in the year 2021? The world is now a global village when your mind has not broadened. When you do not have international contacts you can draw on, as Alan Chasney has had to in the
International
middle
what?
of this COVID. In the
Oh,
middle of this COVID, our prime minister has had to draw on his international contacts all over the world to keep things moving and to keep
there
things
you go.
running.
There you go. There you go.
But no, but a lot of these contacts are built. My family, I'm not going to go into great detail, but has chosen to put kids in school in Canada because they understand the value of these relationships and those networks that are created. Even when you're at high school, these friendships and these relationships last throughout a lifetime. Right? The PM has had the benefit of living abroad, of traveling widely, right? Of being schooled overseas. And he has the world experience, he has the world outlook, he has international contacts all over the world, airlines, international lending agencies, businesses, contacts that we don't even realize that St. Lucia has benefited from in the middle of COVID to keep things running. So how can you ever demonize living abroad, Philip Pierre? How can you demonize that?
So let me go back a little bit because I want to use my own personal experience and I want to reference what Prime Minister Alan Chasney said recently, which I am positive is what Philip J. Pierre is alluding to. An interview with, I think it was CBC or a Canadian TV channel. And Alan Chasney has lived in Canada. He's lived in the US, lived all over the place. So have you. So have I. I lived out of St. Lucia for 27 years. 27 years.
Wow.
In the US. Right? I'm a St. Lucian. I always kept my contacts in St. Lucia. In fact, anytime I return to St. Lucia, it's like I never left. Because everybody still remembers me. Everybody still knows me. Maybe the new people coming up don't know me. But I never lost touch with the people I worked with in St. Lucia. I never lost touch with my friends, you know, although people move around and so. But by and large, I kept my connections there. But today, Norbert Williams is a product of the United States of America. I am also a product of St. Lucia. I am also a product of, in some way, Venezuela. I am also a product, in a very large way, of Barbados, right? My father was Barbadian, okay? But the point I want to make here is Alan Chasney was speaking to a Canadian audience.
Yes.
And you have to draw, you have to make a connection because what you're doing and what people need to realize is that every single time Alan Chasney or the Prime Minister of St. Lucia speaks, he's making connections. Whether you want to believe inadvertently, unknowingly, you're making connections. So you have to connect with the people that you're directing your comments and your statement to. So when you say, I am a product of Canada, you're creating an affinity with the people that you're speaking to. So if I am interviewed
a
by...
relationship.
That is right.
Yeah.
So you see, people need to understand the psychology of...
absolutely.
Of diplomacy.
I'm telling you,
Now,
and
if I'm
Canadians
being
love
interviewed...
Love that.
If I'm being...
The fact that he came and he said that, he made a connection with them, they love that.
If I'm being
right
interviewed...
away, the door is open to him.
That is right. Because people believe, you understand us. You're connected to us.
Exactly.
If I'm being interviewed by CNN about St. Lucia, about traveling and whatever, number one, they know that I'm St. Lucian. So that is redundant to say St. Lucia. But if I say to anybody that I meet, if you say to somebody, well, I went to Harvard, what are you saying? That there's some connection with you and Harvard. If you meet somebody and they say, well, I went to Princeton or I went to Harvard, and you immediately say, well, I went to Harvard. There's a connection there that is unspoken.
Absolutely.
You don't have to qualify that and say, well, I'm a product of Harvard, but I'm also a product of St. Mary's College or St. Joseph's Convent. That's irrelevant.
Exactly.
That's not the point you're trying to make at the time.
Exactly. Exactly.
But of course,
Thank you for breaking it down for them, Norbert.
yes, but
Thank
of
you.
course, he wants to make it seem like Alan Chasney is shunning St. Lucia. Well, how can that be? How can that be? Alan Chasney promotes St. Lucia at every relevant opportunity that he can.
Absolutely.
By virtue of being interviewed as the Prime Minister of St. Lucia. You're saying you're St. Lucian? You're not from Timbuktu? Anybody can figure out, it's natural to conclude that you have experience, that you're a product of St. Lucia too.
Thank you. Thank you. Because you could be more than one thing. Exactly that you're saying, right? You could be more than one thing. We are proud products of many different places.
So if I go,
places.
if I go to Barbados, or I'm speaking on a show or whatever, to Barbadians, even if I go to New York, whatever, and I say, well, folks, Norbert Williams is a product of Barbados, does that mean that I'm hiding St. Lucia? That I'm shunning St. Lucia? That I'm ashamed of St. Lucia? No, it does not.
Exactly.
It does not.
Let it be known, Norbert, I'm also a proud product of Barbados. My
no.
My father's side were Bajan. Yeah? I'm a proud product of Bahamas. I went to university in Bahamas. I'm a proud product of Jamaica. I went to university in Jamaica. Canada. I've lived in Canada for the last 9 years. I'm a proud product of St. Lucia. I'm a proud product of many different places.
So should you have to state all of those?
Nothing wrong with that.
So should you have to state all of those if you're talking to a Canadian audience?
No, Norbert. If I go to the Bahamas and I'm presenting at a conference now, I will say I'm a proud product of Bahamas. I don't have to mention Canada. I don't have to mention Jamaica. I don't have to mention Barbados. I will say I'm a proud product of Bahamas to create that bond, that relationship, that identifiability, that warmth. Instantly, people open their hearts, they open their minds, they open their, oh, she's lived in Bahamas. Okay. Right away, we create that bond. And that's what the Prime Minister was doing. But of course, the Labour Party will twist it to mean what it never meant. Again, in their limited, narrow-minded thinking.
So, I think I should read a comment that someone just sent to me. And I think it sums it up pretty well. Let me read this. There are two things pushed by the Labour Party. If you can't speak Creole, well, you are less of a St. Lucian. How many St. Lucians can't speak Creole? Can you?
No, but I cannot speak Creole. No, I cannot.
Just a few curse words.
Oh, yeah, you can. You can.
Yes,
you
I can.
No, I cannot. And that's a fact.
Does that make you less of a St. Lucian? Can't you be Prime Minister?
No, it does not.
You can't be Prime Minister. You can't get into politics because you can't speak Creole. Let's go on. If you are too light-skinned, you are less of a St. Lucian. All made up by the SLP as the attributes. But you know what they're pushing? The Malay way. Because why should Philip J. Pierre have to stress that I am a proud black man in St. Lucia?
Black man.
When St. Lucia is not only black people. Because if we are to look just at our flag, we see right away there the white. And at the time that it was made, the whites were a significant part. Whatever role you want to equate it to, or not like, or whatever you want to say, that's a fact. That there are white St. Lucians. Whether you like it or not.
It is. Absolutely.
Whether you like it or not. Absolutely. And let me tell you something. Ain't nothing wrong with white people. Ain't nothing wrong with black people.
Absolutely.
And trying to attribute all the wrongs of the past to people who went to school with us, who are just like us. What about the Indians? Where do the Indians fit into all of this in St. Lucia? Where are they? Neither here nor there. You are an outcast? No pun intended.
Yeah. My mother is Indian. What does that make me? Not worthy enough?
My mother has some kind of thing going on there. What's that?
But most of us, we all mix up with everything.
But what about genealogy?
Those of us who are mixed.
What about when people send a sample of their saliva to genealogy.com or all of those other services out there to find out what they are? You perceive part Sudanese in the DNA. They check it and they send you a report. You can go online. Huh? They tell you have part Eskimo, you have part I'm Irish or whatever it is. You're
Yeah,
part
yeah.
Aleutian Islander or whatever.
Yeah.
So the color of your skin is saying nothing much. You could find a family,
But going-
one side,
but going back-
one child dark as hell, the other child light skin. What happened? You less of a St. Lucian?
But yeah, like I asked earlier, what about
Foolishness.
Kenny Hansen, who's biracial? Is he not worthy enough? Right? The white father, just like Alan Shassy's mother was white, but a black father, right? Just like Ernest Hilaire,
Yeah.
mixed biracial as well.
Yes.
So what does that make them? We are all St. Lucians. I hate this divisive rhetoric, Robert.
But that is it right there. Who's lined up
Imagine
behind
we have to
him?
be spending time.
Who's
Imagine
lined up?
spending time on this show.
Having
Ernest Hilaire, obviously.
So in essence,
Ernest
is he
Hilaire,
disqualifying? Is he disqualifying him because he's not as black? So then, in essence,
Maybe that's not just for Alan Shasny, maybe that's for Ernest Hilaire as well. Ernest Hilaire is light skinned, he's mixed race.
so Ernest
he's
Hilaire is a
overseas.
proud light-skinned guy. Kenny Anthony is a proud half-white guy. You know, I'm a proud. If you want to say, I'm a proud Shabin Lucian. Shut up.
No, but
Just
it's
be
just such a
quiet.
shame and embarrassment, honestly, that we have to be wasting our time this morning and be talking about that. But that is the level the Labour Party in Philippines has brought our politics to.
I'm a
Right?
proud
We are
St. Lucian.
comparing-
That is it.
No,
The
but
color
we
is
are
irrelevant.
comparing our skin tones. We are comparing our skin tones to
That's
see who's
right.
lighter. Isn't
That's
that a
right.
shame that we have reached that level in
Yep,
St. Lucia?
in politics.
Thanks to the rhetoric of the Labour Party,
Yeah.
we now have to look at our skin color as St. Lucians and be talking about what our backgrounds are, what our races are, what our parents and grandparents national. Isn't that a shame, St. Lucia? How many passports we have, where our children, our nieces and nephews were born, where we went to school. Isn't that a shame, St. Lucia? We need to stand against this divisive rhetoric. We are St. Lucians. We are proud St. Lucians. No matter which part of the globe we live, we raise our St. Lucian flag with pride. We love our country. We defend our country to the T. We speak about St. Lucia at every opportunity. We are proud St. Lucians, and we need to stop this divisive narrative that seeks to define how St. Lucian we are and how entitled we are to be leader by stupidness.
And here's the word
Stupidness.
they created. And you remember your St. Lucianness. That's from the SLP. Your St. Lucianness. So there are certain things that qualify you as more or less of a St. Lucian. Because if you say St. Lucian less, it means that it's quantifiable.
Isn't that a shame that there are degrees of our St. Lucianness, Norbert? Isn't that a shame? Well, let me tell you something. The Labour Party did not give me my St. Lucianness, and they sure as hell can't take it
There
from me.
you go.
They sure as hell cannot take my St. Lucianness from me.
But coming to think
Nor
of
can they
it.
take Alan Shasney's St. Lucianness from him. Nor can they take his from him.
But coming to think of it, I have never heard that anywhere else. Americanness or Canadianness or Barbadianness or Vincentianness. I have not heard that possessive type of thing used to describe anywhere. Wow. So let's
Only in
continue.
the SLP St. Lucia. It's in the Philippia St. Lucia. That's the kind of St. Lucia that Philippia is building. A divided St. Lucia. A
Let's-
fractured St. Lucia.
Let's continue.
I have been attacked
You want to him.
by Father, Son, and Josie Ghost. I have
Listen well.
been attacked by Father,
Listen well.
Son, and Josie Ghost.
This is all the context. Listen.
I have been attacked on the way I look.
Well, welcome to the club. So has everybody else.
Yep.
I have been attacked on the way I speak.
Wow.
I've been attacked on every possible way. But I am a proud black man, proud of himself, comfortable in his skin, and I will, Mr. Speaker.
Listen to
I
this.
will, with the support of the people
Listen
of
to
St.
this,
Lucia,
listen to this.
one day be the Prime Minister of St. Lucia.
Feeling of inferiority, and he's qualifying all of that to say, as a black man, I will That's what he's saying. But, you know, I have a question to ask Philip J. Pierre. In fact, not even him directly. To all St. Lucians. Number one, let's keep it real. That's what the show is. And I strive every day, every time that I connect with you all, to have you keep it real with me. Folks, whether we like it or not, this is the world that we live in. We could want better or to change things as much as we want. You get into politics, what we say in St. Lucia, you're going to get the mepui. What Philip J. Pierre is describing that has been thrown at him in the name calling, talking about the way he speaks and whatever, has been leveled against Alan Chastanet. It has been leveled against Kenny Anthony. It has been leveled against Stephenson King. It has been leveled against John Compton. It has been leveled against Barack Obama, against Donald Trump, against Prime Minister Tony Blair, against George Bush, Justin Trudeau. Every leader, not only in government, not only of a country, has faced criticism, has faced all types of derogatory statements made to them. François Mitterrand, whoever it is. So Philip J. Pierre is trying to use that as, again, another badge of honor. You are not unique. People say things about you, Minerva. They say things about me. They've called me all kind of names already.
Thank you, Norbert.
So I guess now
politics.
There's a clash now because I'm too light-skinned, but in using one of his qualifiers, I've been called all kind of names, so I should qualify to be Prime Minister too.
No, but you and I not even in politics, and the amount of time we have been attacked so much.
They say so much things, many things about other people.
No, but in St. Lucia, who has been attacked more than the Prime Minister? Who has been attacked more than Alan Chastanet? Tell me who.
I'm
After
a proud
Alan
black
Chastanet
man.
died, Joseph.
So let me put it this way.
Joseph. Who has been attacked more than Alan Chastanet?
So guess what?
Joseph?
Guy Joseph is a proud Indian in St. Lucia. A proud Indian St. Lucian. Alan Chastanet is a proud white man St. Lucian. Let's keep it real. Nothing wrong in being right. You get judged on your works.
Not white though, Norbert.
Well, in the context of skin color, he white. That's what they're saying.
He is not more white than Kenny Anthony. His father is black. His mother is white. He's not no more white than Kenny Anthony.
But you see now this is the point. You see how ridiculous some people will say this conversation sounds, because it is ridiculous.
No, but I feel ridiculous saying it. It's a shame we have to be discussing those things. I feel ridiculous having these conversations and how light and how white you are. It's a shame. But Philip Pierre has put that on the discussion in the House.
That is right.
He put it there.
In a budget debate. In a budget debate. What does that have to do with the budget? Because he was campaigning.
The rest of the world listening to that.
He was looking for sympathy. Qualification.
Imagine to outsiders listening to that part of Philip Pierre's speech. Is that what the level we have come down to in St. Lucia?
Pathetic.
I feel pathetic having this discussion here.
But it must be had.
He introduced it in the House, and we need to respond to it and address it. He introduced it, but that is the level of discussion Philip Pierre is introducing to the narrative of St. Lucia.
So
he didn't start. It started from the last election when once Alan Chastanet was leader. Because they want to go after him. They want to go after the color of his skin.
Okay, people are clamoring to open the lines. People are clamoring. Let me finish Philip J. Pierre there quickly. Let me finish, because the callers, our listeners, are going to eat us alive if they don't call in and get a part of this.
No, but we had so much more we had planned for today, but I know we're going to have to leave some content for
tonight.
For Friday.
And Friday.
Tonight, and Friday.
Oh, folks, tonight's going to be special.
I have some more stuff I want to get to about our budget, our debt to GDP, our GDP growth. There's so much I want to get to, but I'll leave some stuff for Friday.
Let's go through. Hey, what happened?
I expect, Mr. Speaker, these attacks to be intensified.
Wow.
I'm born and bred in St. Lucia.
Here we go again.
I expect the surrogates to attack me even more bitterly, Mr. Speaker.
But you're attacking me too.
But St. Lucia
is
home to me.
Yeah, here you go again.
I live nowhere else in my life.
You hear that?
And I will live nowhere else. I will live in St. Lucia, Mr. Speaker. I have an interest in seeing St. Lucia do better.
So you
So
see,
do I.
you see,
So do I.
he's qualifying all of that.
Yeah.
So I have a genuine interest. I'm black. I've never left. I've lived all my life in St. Lucia. I have only one passport. So he's qualifying himself. You see?
Validating himself.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
have one passport.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have one citizenship. That's all I have. I have nowhere to go. I have to stay in this country. Mr. Speaker, I promise,
That's it for now on this.
Yes.
And guess what? Bob Marley's father was white. What did that make Bob?
But no, but that's who we are in the Caribbean.
Buster
That's who we are in the
Manty,
Caribbean.
Norman Manley, white.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tom Adams
Nothing wrong
in
with that.
Barbados, he was talking about all these great leaders that he followed. I'll show their photos tonight on Keeping It Real.
No,
I'll show their
Yeah.
photos.
nothing wrong with any of that. Nothing wrong with living abroad. Nothing wrong with being mixed race. Nothing wrong with being white, Syrian, black, Indian, Chinese. Nothing wrong with any of that. We're St. Lucian. Nothing wrong with having 2 passports. Nothing wrong with having your children educated abroad. Nothing wrong with any of that. Nothing wrong with being born into economically better circumstances. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with having parents who are a police or a teacher or an entrepreneur. Nothing wrong with any of that. Let's open the lines now, but
Yeah, let's open the lines. 4560931. Give us a call here, folks. Oh, and it's right immediately. Good morning, you on the air. Let's keep it real.
Good morning, the two of you all.
Good morning.
Back this morning.
Oh.
I'm going to score 100 runs.
you were timing. How are you getting there on the first call? You were timing that thing.
Don't worry. When I'm driving, I get anything I want, man. Because I can do fast. Let me tell you something.
Tell me.
After Philippe heard the Prime Minister's address at the budget, I think Philippe raised the white surrender flag. That's what he did. He surrendered. Because I can't understand, although I saw your things, which a few weeks ago, but my grandmother had a thing saying, "Let me say Selewa," and you could see it is true. I once told you all in 1997, after the Labour Party won the elections, George Odlum had a party at his home, and he invited John Compton. All right. The same John Compton the Labour Party wants to praise now. He invited John Compton. And Philippe had made a whole lot of noise and he walked out of the man's party. People like Kyle George say, hey, John, what's happening? People started speaking to John Compton, the father of the nation, who did so much for St. Lucia. Philippe made a whole lot of noise and he walked out of the man's party. So it shows you the kind of person Philippe is. I also can remember when Federal Express came into St. Lucia. We were discussing what a good job it is. I was discussing that at the accountant's office. I think I brought some books to be audited, and I was actually discussing that. And we were speaking about the guy who was the manager of the place at the time. And this man got up and he said, "That's a plane messenger. It's a plane messenger." We said, "A plane messenger? Man, that's a good job, FedEx. You're moving from country to country. I used to move from island to island, So it shows you the mentality of someone who wants to be the Prime Minister of St. Lucia. Now, with all the talk you're talking about skin color, I never heard you talk about Kenny there because Philippe brought in skin color and all kind of thing, and and black man and white man, and probably he might have gotten close to talking about slavery too. But I never heard him say anything about Kenny Anthony. It is so pathetic. Someone who wants to be leader of a country.
Yes.
Stating those kind of things. And you could see the Labour Party is about to lose the elections, When people talking about tax relief on
desperation.
on $48,000.
Well, that's madness.
It shows you how desperate they are because they know it cannot happen. It definitely cannot happen. Brother, I think the guys have surrendered. He doesn't want to tell the fellas, let us stay out of that election because the Prime Minister seems to have a good plan, a good vision for the country. Let us wait another 5 years to see whether he deliver. And probably if he don't, I, Philippe, will be the Prime Minister, which I say I want to be one day. Good morning. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much, caller. Thanks for keeping it
Thank you,
real.
caller.
Yeah, 456-0931. And if you want to WhatsApp, the number for WhatsApp is 485. Don't regular call. Let people who can call on the regular line. Make a WhatsApp call. People in the diaspora, because he's talking to you. Good morning. You're on the air. Let's keep it real.
Hi, Norbert. How are you doing?
Morning, sir. Doing good.
Yeah, I was listening this morning.
Yeah.
There's a connection, I think, that needs to be made. The summary of Mr. Pierre's contribution tells me that it was a continuation of the two solutions that Hilaire spoke about. And I will tell you something that may surprise you and Minerva. I feel very strongly that half of the speech that Philip Pierre made was directed at Kenny Anthony and Hilaire. These two guys, I think you kind of touched on that. Okay? These two guys are the ones putting the most pressure on Philip Pierre.
You need to cover up your microphone. The wind's blowing into it.
Oh, okay. Let me put up my window. You know, and Pierre must be man enough not to turn it and make it look as if it's an attack on Alan Chastanet. That's a cop-out. You know, I know how difficult it is for Pierre to say anything against Kenny Anthony openly or against Hilaire. But sooner or later he will have to cross that bridge. He will have to say that this is the problem that he has as leader. These guys have never accepted him. They know that Dr. Anthony will not make it again. The people of Vieux Fort may even reject him this time. So they're not unaware of what is going on. And the two St. Lucians that Hilaire mentioned, this is something that can be debated and people can show how stupid it is. I think a lot of people have already done that. But if I had a chance, and I hope I can do that tomorrow, God willing, I would say, yes, there are two St. Lucians.
St. Lucians.
And describe the two St. Lucians and say to which one of these two St. Lucians, you want your children to gravitate. Is it the St. Lucian who tries to divide people? Is it the one that wants to create opportunities for people and do not care too much where St. Lucians reside, the complexions, the varying complexions? Or is it the St. Lucia that wants our children to be Malay, to be handed things instead of teaching them how to fish? So we can argue that, and for the sake of politics, as a discipline, that is something that needs to be done in St. Lucia. Take the very statement they make sometimes and explain it. And tomorrow I'm going to use the process of osmosis. A simple statement.
Which membrane is that going to go through?
A semi-permeable membrane will be the opportunities that the government of the United Workers' Party is offering. The concentrated solution is the success of Alan Chastanet and his government. And the weak, diluted solution is the Labour Party and all their weakness and their foolish statements. But you will see that the solution, the semi-permeable membrane, is flowing from the weak to the strong. And the strong must be there to encourage people who do not know better, who want an opportunity in life. The same people whose children do not have the facilities, even when they have a computer, because of where they live, they don't have the proper connection and what have you. So this is a thing that you can take and argue from a political point of view. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I have been listening very attentively, and I think we don't have to belabor that point. We don't have to belabor that point at all. The thing about it is that these guys, you know, when they're fighting among themselves, they blame everybody else. Everybody else. And this thing the last caller said about the invitation. I was there. George and I had our differences. I refused to leave and become part of those that had destroyed the Labour Party under Louisy. I thought I owed Alan Louisy. I had differences with him. I thought I owed him the loyalty of Prime Minister. He was slower than we expected, but I would not behave like George, and still George and I were not total enemies. At the end of the day, we were together. I was part of his funeral. You understand? So you don't take this enmity and this kind of politics to the grave. You don't do that, because the differences do not have to make us enemies. Anyway, people, I think I've said my piece.
Thank you very much, sir. Have a great day.
Thank you. Have a good day, caller.
Yes, thanks, Minerva. And by the way, I think I must stop calling, I must give people a chance. I've had my say, and I've enjoyed myself in politics. I must give the next generation an opportunity. So if I don't call again, please, you'll understand why, okay?
Okay, have a great day.
Call in every once in a while, caller. I would love to hear your voice.
Okay, I'll try, but I will not do it every time.
Have a wonderful day.
Okay, thank you. Have a great day. 456
Bye-bye.
0931 is the line right into the studio, and WhatsApp is 485-0931. And we have another call. Good morning, you're on the air. Let's keep it real.
Morning, Norbert.
Morning.
Good morning, Mr. Minerva Ward.
Morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
I heard last night that Mr. Ian, he did mention his name. Ian Cauldron called in, and he said...
He called into where?
He called into Mr. Champin's program last night.
Okay.
I mentioned his name, so I can mention his name.
Yeah.
And he did say that the Labour Party said when they get into power, they will close down Auto Labs and Sky FM. I would like Ian or somebody to say which person from the Labour Party who said that. I would like him to mention a name. That's very important to me. And if Philip J. Pierre, I was at that party, and if Philip J. Pierre
What party? What party?
The party that the gentleman just mentioned, the gentleman that hung up there. I was at that party, and it's people's prerogative if they feel they're at a party and they don't want to be associated. Nothing wrong in that. I don't know why they want to bring that back. They too have their choice. So I want Ian or somebody to say which person from the Labour Party who said that, because it will be out of order for the Labour Party, people that have jobs, for the Labour Party to close a radio station and to close Ojo Labs. I find it will be out of order for them to, but I'd like him to mention the name. Thank you, and have a good day.
Thank you very much. Thanks for keeping
Thank
it
you,
real.
caller. Have a good day.
Okay, 456-0931. Telephone line direct to the board right here, and they're coming in. Good morning. You're on the air. Let's keep it real.
Good morning.
Morning.
Well,
morning,
boy,
sir.
this is the politics season right now.
It is.
And then you find this lady on all station, but she used to have issues with Charlie. So right now, apparently, she welcome to this station. And she making comments that, yeah, they went to party, this, that, Ian Cauldron called last night and all kind of things. But the truth of the matter is, everybody know, George Odlum was a nice guy. He was with everybody. Some people just want to spin, the politics and make it look like any time that Labour do something wrong, it's never wrong. The wrong is a right. You understand? And that is the politics, those people that want to call radio station and make people believe, even though you was there. The man would not call a radio station and lie. But I'm telling the caller, stop spinning. Stop spinning. Everybody have a right to support their choice of party. Because those people just believe they knows it all. And that is the reason why she and Charlie always have a problem. Always have a problem. And they just have to cut her sometimes. Because she believes she knows everything. And they like to defend people. When it's wrong, why you don't come and say, well, I believe this time, my opposition leader really got that wrong and stuff like that, and people just make mistakes. She does not do that. The wrong is a right. I don't understand them people. And one thing I must say, I listened to the Honorable Prime Minister last night, And you could see this is a man that focused. He's just moving along, you know, doing what he has to do for the people of St. Lucia because they elected him for 5 years. Okay? And all the name calling and criticizing people and saying, the man, why this, that. Alan don't have time for that. The time he has is to bring the country forward. And most of them realize what the guy has done in 4 years and couple months, that they're in trouble. So they're trying every trick in the book to see they could defeat this guy at the polls. But the people's mind has made up. The young people's minds has made up. And nothing going to change people's mind because they're going to give the man another 5 years to continue the work that he's been doing for 4 years and couple months because the 5 years they lay yet, you know. And all what I have seen is work, 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 and for people to have a little dollar in their pocket. This is all what I have to see.
Thank you, caller.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Have
Bye-bye.
a great day. Okay,
Have a good
456-0931. And WhatsApp, you can send us a message. Yeah, we have quite a few messages after this call. We'll do that. Good morning, you're on the air. Let's keep it real.
Mr. William, morning.
Good morning. How are you, sir?
Very much alive and well. Miss Ward, how are you?
I'm
Miss
great.
Ward,
How are you, sir?
Okay, Mr. William.
Yeah.
Okay, let's say I'm siding with the lady. Okay? but Mr. William, if your operatives on all kind of talk shows talking about Shafne give Ojo Lab millions of dollars, Shafne give ITLBTO millions of dollars, and these things not needed, give people money, and are you saying that your party and your operative and even your members in cabinet, okay, they're going inside parliament and debate and Ojo Lab, the DFH, the airport, everything is an issue because it is not good. You have to take loans and just give people money without and pay it back without nothing to show. I mean, if somebody say, if Ian say that they say they will close Ojo Lab, they said it. I heard it from Mr. Pierre himself. Okay, he did not go to the extent say, but he will close it. But he said it is not necessary, it is not important. And right now, don't tell me as election is down the corner. You now come in and say, name who? Say they will close Ojo Lab. But if you don't support something, Mr. William, what is it you're doing? What is it you're saying? And right now, you are coming back and say, okay, Ojo Lab is a good thing. And no, that is hypocrisy. You check what I mean? Labour Party know they cannot win the election. And Labour Party is...
Caller, I told you before that they will get 3 seats. Rat Island, Maria Island, and Frigate Island.
That's true, Mr. William. But let me tell you, Maria Island, they cannot get it.
What happened there?
Remember what
they have the lizards there.
Yeah, remember what they said. So I am saying, Mr. William, I do not know.
Do we own it, or does Greenberg own it?
Greenberg.
Serious, I cannot understand and cannot believe that people still believe after the things. And you know what hurts me, Mr. William? You hearing comments that is derogative.
Derogatory, yeah.
By the Labour Party people.
Yeah.
And you're not hearing these people calling one talk show and at least say, something, explain that. Or that should not be said. If you tell me your deputy leader, your first deputy leader, went to Dominica and said that crime was orchestrated in St. Lucia to happen in Dominica. And people die in Dominica. And you so hypocrite. All right, you don't have the guts to call and say, okay, you know something? My first deputy leader made a mistake. And he should have not said that. You are endorsing it as wicked
tacit.
people.
It's called tacit
and
endorsement.
Telling me
tacit.
that you want to come and tell Ian and said they will close Ojo Lab. What nonsense is that? This is pure nonsense. That lady, according to my good friend, have to stop it.
Stop that, man. Stop that.
Stop that. You have to come straight. If wrong is wrong, because Mr. William, I am somebody. When my party do something, I will say, okay, you see that? That should not have been happening. That should not happen.
Yeah.
You all do the same thing. Be woman and man enough to know that, okay, something happened that is wrong, and it is wrong. Ask Dr. Hille, what about the vehicle? Ask Dr. Hille, what about Juvali? What went down?
Well, caller, I have challenged Philip J. Pierre on more than one occasion. I said, you want to lead this country. I want you to tell them categorically. Don't come and say you're not carrying out any investigation. Tell them categorically that you have conducted your own internal investigation and that you are satisfied from the information that you got.
Yeah, Mr. Williams.
That, you know.
That's what I'm saying.
Needs to say that clear. Needs to say it clear.
You tell me that Philip J. Pierre has made so many blunders. Okay? And you all not asking him one question. Even them reporters. Them people are not reporters. Serious, you know. These people are not reporters.
Well, let's not go there. Let's not go there. Let's go to something else.
Mr. William, everybody would be in the dark in St. Lucia. But from God, Sky FM coming, 93.1 coming, and that we can enlighten people, we can educate people about the nonsense, all them talk shows. I heard one cursing on the program yesterday.
It's unbelievable.
I heard one cursing and insulting people on the program.
Unbelievable. Animals, Zanimo. That's what you call the desperation is thick.
Yeah, because
thick.
I telling you, you're watching, you are lala, you are rara. Because you pass a you pass a election. So you put
what you say there? What you say there? You are rara.
You are rara.
Thank you very much. Have a great day.
Have a good one, caller.
We'll take one call and then we'll go over to the comments on Facebook. 456-0931. We have another call. Good morning, you're on the air. Let's keep it real.
Yes, good morning.
Morning.
I would like to inform the lady caller, the same person who says that when you get into power, we will not be able to borrow, is the same one that said when you get into power, we will investigate and close down the Ojo Lab. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, caller.
Okay, so we're going to put the phones on hold for now. And we're going to get to the messages on WhatsApp. Good morning, guys. Happy Tuesday to you all. I want to send a special good morning to the people of Micoud North, wishing them all the best going forward. Since this is an election year, we're keeping it lit with Auntie Gail. And big shout out to the ladies working in the Micoud North office. Continue the good work. And not to forget our rep, Dr. Gail Rigobert. Let's get this party on the road. Call it. Coming from Papi Miku, a.k.a. the cowboy. Let's go to the next one. Good morning, Mr. Norbert and Miss Ward. Moses Jean-Baptiste made mention to him living here and has not gone anywhere as well. In his presentation, you must check it out. I guess they have a problem with St. Lucians that left or lived out of St. Lucia. Let's see what's here. Okay. Oh, whoa, whoa. Stay safe there. Stay safe there. Oh, stay one place. Good morning, Nobs. I want you to continue playing the clip to let St. Lucians hear the nonsense that the Labour Party is talking. Play that clip tonight and call Alva and tell him to answer Dale. I guess that must be the question about GDP. Good morning, Norbert and Minerva. Pierre has 6 months experience 50 times. Okay. Whatever that means, I don't know. Do you know what that means?
It means that he's been doing the same thing for 25 years and has not grown. That's the same point I was making, that people can be in a job for how many years. That does not mean anything. Somebody could come in 5 years like Herod and do what he could not do in 25 years.
That's kind of like I don't know if you saw that movie. This woman who loses her memory and or the same day keeps coming back and reliving the same day over and over and over again.
Yeah. That's for the pair.
Good morning to both of you. If Philip J. Pierre has nowhere to go, so what is he doing with a passport? You get that one?
Yep.
Yeah. Then we have somebody who says, good morning. Botham Jean resided abroad with a view to become actively involved in politics one day. What is the wannabe PM talking about? When it is convenient, the diaspora is called upon to assist. Now it is wrong to reside elsewhere.
Thank you.
Mate mad. Next one. Good morning to you, Mr. Williams and Miss Minerva. Minova, they say Minova. I have 2 passports and I have achieved much more than Philip J. Pierre in the sense of morality and gratitude. I'm very proud of my place of birth, St. Lucia, and would never stoop so low as to insult. Is he regretting his entire life in the doldrums of the SLP? In my opinion, he too should resign, as he is beginning to show his 2 colors. He is very insecure and paranoid, knowing he is destined to lose his seat. Pleasant day to you both.
Yep.
I think Philip J. Pierre is beleaguered. I think he has things coming, knives, target daggers at him from every angle inside that party. And he is there. He is there feeling the pressure of course, everybody who wants to run for political office, wanting to be prime minister, knowing the vultures that are waiting to descend upon him.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Good morning, Norbert. I am afraid that you have me questioning your sanity this morning. I have seen you arguing about a man who howls at the moon. Okay. Let's go to this one. Good morning, Norbert and Minerva. Philip Pierre's achievements for Castries East for 25 years, as he outlined in the budget debate, I can count on one hand. This includes giving exercise books to students. Norbert, doesn't every cat and dog give exercise books to children every day? Next one.
Norbert, don't you? I'm sure you know people whose kids you give school supplies and stuff without even broadcasting it. That's an achievement in 25 years? I mean, come on.
I'd like to say a special good morning to all our listeners in the diaspora, those of you logged in online on your mobile device, those of you watching on GVD TV channel 115 in St. Lucia, those of you on the Sky FM Facebook page, facebook.com/SkyFMSLU, those of you on the Keeping It Real Facebook page, facebook.com/KeepingItRealSLU, and of course, if you want the address for the live stream, the audio, you can listen anywhere in the world, it's live.skyfm.lc. You can get us on any device, anywhere around the world. What's that?
Well, Norbert, thank you for shouting out us second-class St. Lucians in the diaspora.
Well, that was just to make you all feel good. Who are y'all, man? Who are y'all, man?
Who are we? Second-rate
Who are you, man?
Boy.
Take your coal, man. Take your coal. Stay up there. Take your coal. You just want to come to St. Lucia and you feel you know more than everybody else. Stay up there, man.
Norbert, we unpatriotic traitors, those of us who are in the diaspora, according to Philip Pierre. Thank you for acknowledging us, Norbert.
Stay up there, man. What do y'all want to come down? Feel y'all know everything, man. Because you come from the States or Canada or England? You think people here don't know nothing? Think people here don't know nothing?
Oh my God.
Think y'all know everything?
We are second-class St. Lucians, boy. We're not St. Lucian enough. We're not worthy.
Good morning to you, good people. If the SLP, particularly the leader of the opposition, is so much against the Prime Minister's pigmentation so badly, in my humble opinion, I don't think he should wear or explain the meaning of the color white on our national flag. Young patriots who are proud of their St. Lucian flag are listening and analyzing. Let's go to the next one. We have a lot of messages here. Good morning to you all. Norbert, I think Guy Joseph should give Philip the book he made for him about how to govern. Well, actually, you may have missed it. How to lead
when you're not in charge.
Yes. Actually, he did give it to him. I don't know whether you watched all the way to the end of that session, but he actually went over to Philip J. Pierre and presented him with that book. It's actually on the video from that sitting of the House. When you're not in charge, then he will know that he's not in charge of the country and he will never be in charge. Let our Prime Minister do his work for our country. Yeah. Okay, next one. Good morning. You guys look so beautiful on GVD TV. Wow. Philip's cheap talk. Everyone can see Philip has no leadership qualities. Even his colleagues have noticed that. The race card, the hate, the divisiveness. Norbert, you think smart St. Lucians will ever vote for this man? Next one. The person used the word there, but I won't use it. It's a circus entity. Wow, this is a very long one. So let me try and read that quickly. Good morning, Norbert and Madame Ward. The PM and Minister Guy Joseph, in yet another display of their command of governance last night, put the SLP, in particular Philip J. Pierre, to bed and without supper. The SLP have been saying, give the people the money for the Rodney Bay Road expansion project. We heard that the construction company facilitated and funded the project, where the government would repay later and over an extended period of time. So employment was created for workers who got money to maintain themselves, and so the country benefits from getting a project done, all of which represents strategic thinking. Very critical word there, strategic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Surely the company.
That was one of the
yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, go on.
Go ahead.
I'll comment after.
Go ahead.
No, I was saying that discussion about that road, that project, which was one of the things I had down for discussion for today, but we've, I'll have to save it for Friday.
Yeah,
there's a lot I want to discuss on that. Sure. Like I said, debt to GDP, our GDP growth over the years. Yeah. Philip Pierre's campaign promises that he announced in the House. There's so much that we have yet to touch on that we wanted to get to today, but it's just too much. But yeah, let's go on.
Surely the company would not have just handed out money to government to just give to people. And so the SLP's thinking and cry is a weak nonsense exposed for just what it is. They obviously are lost as to visionary governance. Successful governance is not a game and not for unaccustomed and even worse, failed people. This elections is a straight matter of comparing those who have succeeded and those who have failed, comparing a strong and competent leader and a weak and failed parliamentary representative, unsure of his current standing. What is wrong with Philip Pierre? Why is he low, petty, and silly? His highlights are he is a black man, racist undertone. He is a real man because he does not eat guavas and hot bread. He is an authentic St. Lucian since he has one passport, dissing the hundreds and thousands of St. Lucians who have 2 passports. He is a proud St. Lucian, so are thousands of St. Lucians. Instead of discussing business of the state, he is trying to promote his ego and boost his self-esteem. Is he suffering from an inferiority complex? I think so. Philip Pierre's...
I think at the root of it, that's what it is.
Yeah. Okay. Philip Pierre's one daughter, who I am sure he loves, is one of those born in America of St. Lucian parentage, studied in America, and continues to live and earn a livelihood in America. So what is he about? Norbert, Philip Pierre had one big problem, that is eating him inside and upside down. It bugs him so much, he spoke it by force. Philip Pierre is seeing his exit from politics after 25 years and not having achieved his goal, which he considers the prize. He is seeing himself not having attained the post of Prime Minister, and he sees Prime Minister Alan Chastanet having already achieved that and is now blaming Alan Chastanet for his, Philip Pierre's, demise. Okay, that was okay. That's not to be read on air. And somebody else said Philip Pierre's daughter lives outside of St. Lucia, and Philip Pierre studied outside of St. Lucia. Aye, and yeah, somebody identified who the previous caller was. I don't care. Good morning, Minerva and Norbert. You have started me off and opened an old wound. I left Guyana, my country of birth, because of racial divisiveness. I am St. Lucian. As anyone born here, I have given without being asked. I have children born here. I pay taxes here. Does that negate or minimize my St. Lucianness? I, like so many of us who are descendants of slavery, is of mixed ancestry. My maternal grandfather was an Englishman. Does that make me any less than someone who can trace their ancestry back to Africa? Philip J. Pierre needs to wheel and come again.
Absolutely. And to that person's point, no, but I keep saying that whatever race we are as St. Lucians, whatever backgrounds we come from, whatever countries we were born in and settled in St. Lucia and call St. Lucia home, and if I invest in our lives, our talents, our money, our skills, our resources in St. Lucia,
our
we
sacrifices.
are St. Lucian.
Yes.
If you come from Guyana, you've made St. Lucia home. You are St. Lucian.
So I
a
guess
St. Lucian is a St. Lucian is a St. Lucian. There's no second-rate St. Lucians, as Philip Pierre is trying to create. We are St. Lucians,
so
no matter the pigmentation of our skin.
I guess the St. Lucians who went to England to rebuild it after the Second World War, and the SLP said so much about the Windrush generation and all that brouhaha 2 or 3 years ago. Exactly. I guess those St. Lucians, they should pack them up from England and send them back home.
But
even if they have a passport.
Guyana. So many St. Lucians went to Guyana back in the day. Went to St. Croix to work
That's
for
right.
Hess. Went all over the world.
Good morning, St. Croix.
Have come back home.
Yeah.
Right? Have come back home or send money home or whatever. We are St. Lucian. There are no second-rate or second-class St. Lucians or unpatriotic St. Lucians. This fragmentation the Labour Party is trying to do to St. Lucians, we have to stand up against it.
Divide and rule.
Dividing St. Lucia, divide and rule. Dividing St. Lucians on the basis of our race, of our backgrounds, of our economic circumstances.
I'm thinking of this, and it's
now Philip Pierre want to divide us by
it's so sad.
Parents,
let me tell you something.
Occupations.
I've lived in the US for 27 years. 27 years. And the racism, because we see it on TV, that I experienced, there was a shock. And I remember a number of instances of racism or racist attitudes being extended towards me. And it is a shock. And one of the things that I said, there was all of this slavery thing in St. Lucia and blah, blah, blah. But by and large, the type, and people will tell you, what we experience here in St. Lucia ain't nothing like that. And now I have to return to St. Lucia and have to face this type of division, which I never wanted to deal with. And it is being opened up and blatantly encouraged. It is being supported. It is being given fuel by the St. Lucian Labour Party. It is being given fuel. And this is a sad day in St. Lucia. Sad day in St. Lucia. And our past of slavery happened. But we are all of mind and thinking to not go down that road again. To not encourage it again. Because in St. Lucia, we are all one. And however you want to separate, however you want to compartmentalize St. Lucia for your own purposes, the fact is at the end of the day, we are all that we have as an independent nation. And those who want to exploit that devil of racism for their own political or whatever reasons,
and racism, segregation,
are raising the devil, the demo,
dangerous,
and that is a dangerous thing. They are raising the bolom of racism in St. Lucia, and I am truly saddened. I am truly disappointed. And we see it all along. And if we want to talk and give the classic example that St. Lucians rallied around, there was no SLP or UWP or any other politics involved. Botham Shem Jean. And even in his brothers, however people vilified him, in his brother's hug of the killer of his brother in the courtroom, we should take the example and realize that there is no place for this in St. Lucia. I am truly saddened today.
Yeah. And no, but I think it's important to ask St. Lucians, and I will do it, to ask St. Lucians listening to this program to stand up against this politics of racial division, this politics that seeks to divide us by the class we were born into, this kind of politics that seeks to divide us by our parents' occupation, or whether our parents were civil servants or entrepreneurs, that seeks to pit one group of St. Lucians against the next. We need to stand up against that politics of division that seeks to demean people, where if they come from a different country and made St. Lucia home, or if they were born in St. Lucia and choose to live elsewhere. We need to stand up against that politics of division and call it out. Call it out. That has no place in St. Lucia. The St. Lucia we want to live, the St. Lucia I hope to return to at some point. It has no place. It has no place for our children. That's not who we are as St. Lucians, and we just stand up against it. Let us not let politicians like Philip P. and the Labour Party divide us. Not this divide and rule thing. It has no place in St. Lucia. That's not who we are as St. Lucians. There are no second-rate St. Lucians. There are no watered-down St. Lucians. There are no lesser St. Lucians. A St. Lucian is a St. Lucian is a St. Lucian, and we are all entitled. We have common aspirations to better our lives, to better our livelihoods, to better our outcomes for our children. We have a common purpose as St. Lucians, and we need to move towards that common purpose with unity, not division, based on the color of our skin.
And that,
I hope we never have to revisit this conversation, Norbert, and compare our skin tones.
And that,
I hope we never have to go over this conversation again. Yeah.
And that, coming from a man who aspires to be Prime Minister of St. Lucia, that type of speech, that type of fuel, because whatever he said there comes from some deficiency, I believe, that he feels, and he has to, in the only way that he sees that he can prop himself up, is to pull the race card, is to give value to his blackness.
Yes. Yes.
Give value to having one passport, to give value to not having lived anywhere else. Because inadvertently, when you're saying that to prop yourself, to bolster your image, inadvertently what you're saying is that any other St. Lucian who has two passports, who's lived somewhere else, who's not as dark as you or black as you, is somehow suffering from some deficiency, some qualification to be Prime Minister, to be St. Lucian, is not St. Lucian enough. That's what it says. That's what it says. And you can twist and you can wule laba, you can spin upside down all you want. That is what it says. And Philip JPN needs to know. He needs to understand that in aspiring to be the leader of this country, in heading an organization, a political one, where he wants to lead, where he is already leading some, where he's supposed to be a shining example, The little boys and the little girls and the youth of St. Lucia that he wants to look up to him, that he takes photos with, although he said that you shouldn't take photos with politicians, photo ops. All of these, in their innocence, are looking up to him. Maybe he's the first politician they've met. Maybe he's the first politician who said something to them. That's how kids are. They're open and they look at you and say, that's the man I saw. That's the man I met.
Yes.
And the things that you say, and you're introducing that into their psyche, that if you have more than one St. Lucian passport, something's wrong. That if you've lived elsewhere, there's something wrong about your St. Lucian identity.
Yep.
And Philip J. Pierre has to know the power of the position that he holds and the power of the position that a prime minister has, that a parliamentarian has, that when you speak these things that go around the world, it gives St. Lucians impressions of themselves, it gives them impressions of you, and it gives people in the world impressions of us.
Yeah. But even beyond me, I think of my nieces and nephews, who hold dual citizenships. I wonder about them. What does that say to them as St. Lucians who also want to contribute? What role do they have in the development of St. Lucia? What future they have to look forward to in Philip Pierre's version of St. Lucia? Are they good enough? Are they St. Lucian enough? Can they lead by Philip Pierre's definition?
Take a pause there for a second. It's too much. Has to be flushed.
Be careful of the United Workers' Party.
Oh, that's another one.
Yeah.
Don't even talk about that.
Yeah.
But whilst we're on it,
open the lines. You probably have a few more callers.
Yeah.
Trying to get the line.
That was lined up there, but we'll deal with that.
But there's so much I had lined up, man. Yeah, I have a lot for Friday.
Okay, the lines are open. 456-0931. Make a call quick. 456-0931. Give us a call quick. We have a call coming in. Good morning, you're on the air. Let's keep it real.
Morning, Nabat.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Morning, with your guest as well.
Good morning.
If I have to listen to...
You need to turn down your device or your radio caller.
Yeah. I say if I have to listen to Philip J. Pierre or his comments, I have not heard of one comment stating that how he's going to create employment in the country.
All of this at a budget debate. All of it. Can you believe that? That is how it's eating at him so much that he would take the opportunity of using the budget debate and spew this nonsense.
Okay. So, again, I have also noticed where he will create unemployment in this country.
How you say that? Yeah.
All right. Definitely, if Philip J. Pierre is talking about foreign persons and being a St. Lucian, definitely if the Labour Party comes into power, there will be no Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Okay? So this is a ministry that will not have no employment. And if Philip J. Pierre has to say that again, which means to say, have he go around and see the amount of persons that works at Western Union, the amount of persons that works at MoneyGram, the amount of people that work in those different money organizations that own the living. So therefore, it makes no sense to have those foreign affairs ministry, and the people overseas make no sense, or it does not have any meaningful solution. So we will not get our money from our parents, we will not get our money from our sisters, we will not get nothing from overseas again. Even persons working at customs, when the barrel comes, all those people will be out of a job. Keeping it real.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for keeping it real. Hope you have a great day. We'll take one more call, Minerva, but we still have messages. We'll take one more call and we'll get back to the rest of the messages. Good morning, Mr. Norbert and Miss Ward. I was wondering if Philip J. Pierre was going mad saying he is a product of St. Lucia. I will tell him I am a product of St. Lucia, but live in Brooklyn. One moment, caller. And also, I contribute to my country. Also, if he becomes the prime minister, he doesn't travel to the diaspora. Poor Philip J. Pierre. Good morning, you're on the air. Let's keep it real.
Me again, Norbert and Miss Ward.
Yes.
I think it's unfair to say that Mr. Philip J. Pierre was answering to father, son, and Josie Ghost, when they attack him on his complexion, it's unfair that you'll make even the Prime Minister attack Mr. Pierre the way he speaks on a political platform in Soufrière. I find it's unfair that you'll make Mr. Pierre feel, because he made those statements in the House, that he was attacking complexion. Whenever you know better, you know about Mr. Pierre, you were part of him in the Labour Party. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
No matter what foolishness is that? Let me tell you, I listened to Philip Pierre, and I listened to it over and over and over again. I never understood that Philip Pierre was responding to anybody. Why would Philip Pierre respond to, hold the call, because this caller addressed me, I'm going to respond to her, hold that call, right?
Hold on a second. Caller, can you hold on?
Come in the house.
I'm just saying,
why would Philip Pierre come into the house?
Yeah, thank you. Somebody said to flush
Why
out.
would Philip Pierre... Why would Philip Pierre come into the house to respond to Josie? You have a national audience. You're speaking to St. Lucians at home and the diaspora.
In Parliament.
On the eve of an election. In Parliament. The last budget debate. Right? And he's coming and talk about his blackness, the fact that he owns only one passport, the fact that he's not left St. Lucia.
What does that have to do with anybody?
He was, hold on. No, but he was not just speaking to Josie. He was speaking to everybody. Single St. Lucian at home and abroad, including me as a St. Lucian in the diaspora. Right? This is not a narrative that Philip has introduced in the House only today. This is a narrative that has been pushed by the Labour Party since 2016. So that caller, don't tell me nonsense about I was part of Philip Pierre. I've never been part of that narrative. I continue to stand against the politics of racial division, period. No matter which side it comes from, I will continue to stand against it. So don't call this show and talk about I was part of Philip Pierre. I will never be part of a divided St. Lucia. Any narrative that seeks to divide St. Lucians by racial lines. I will never be part of that. So don't call and tell me who I am. You don't know who I am, caller. You don't know who I am. I will never be part of that. And that is a shame for anybody who aspires to be leader of this country,
there you go.
of our St. Lucia, of our St. Lucia. It's a shame for anybody who aspires to be leader of St. Lucia to create a fractured and divided St. Lucians. That divide and rule, I can never subscribe to it. So don't tell me who I am, caller. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning. You on the air. Let's keep it real.
Yes, good morning.
Morning.
Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
What's wrong with this lady?
Morning, caller.
Why she keep annoying people on this radio station? We all know she's a troublemaker for the SLP. So please stop, Claudia. Please stop. We don't need that from you. Okay.
Thank you very much, caller. Thanks for keeping it real. You know, I am very particular when I speak. And I made it very clear that Philip J. Pierre needs to realize that he is the leader of the opposition and he aspires, in whatever misguided way that he does, to be Prime Minister of St. Lucia. And if you practicing, because he's been practicing in the House by standing up and calling for the adjournment of the House when he doesn't have any such permission or power to do, that he has to realize that the things he says have very far reach. They have a lot of influence. That whatever he says, just like whatever Alan Chastney says, the same way they want to pick and dissect it, that whatever he says is going to come under scrutiny. Absolutely. And the fact is that what Philip J. Pierre said in the House last week, Friday, was in the context. And like these SLP people and these hackalacks like to do, is to take a small sliver and try and play innocent with it. But Philip J. Pierre made his statement within the context of a number of things, which he defined. He spoke about his mother. He spoke about his father. He spoke about St. Lucianness in the House before. This is not an isolated speech or statement.
Absolutely.
Philip J. Pierre is the sum total of everything that the SLP has said since 2016, including himself.
Absolutely.
And Philip J. Pierre, in his inferiority complex, made statements, that's what it boils down to, made these statements to qualify and to validate himself to be Prime Minister. Who cares about what people say? The house is what your policies are going to be. How you're going to change the life of the people of St. Lucia. Not mepui or what memes or what people say about you out there. Because if that's the case, Alan Chastanet will have a month to talk about it. Alan Chastanet has never come to the house and complained or talk about the color of his skin or talk about his father or his family or whatever. Alan Chastanet talks about what he can do for the people of St. Lucia. And that is the defining
Alan Chastanet has been attacked more than anybody else, more than Philip Pierre. The level of attack on Alan Chastanet, Philip Pierre can't even come close to it. The man has been attacked on the color of his skin. His family has been attacked. His father has been attacked. Right?
War has been declared against his family. War.
Absolutely.
It's a war against the Chastanets and the SLP.
Absolutely. And Kenny Anthony said it. This is about the Chastanets. You know, in the last election, this is about the Chastanets. I have never heard Alan Chastanet stand up in the house crying about being attacked. Like Philip Pierre does. Every single time Philip Pierre comes to the house, he comes and cries about being attacked. I mean, you in politics.
Sympathy.
You are in politics. I've never heard,
Get used to it.
People attacking Philip Pierre personally. Philip Pierre has been attacked on his record, and
yes.
rightfully so.
Yes.
I've never heard people talking about Philip Pierre's, I've never heard people attack Philip Pierre personally. I mean, really and truly.
But the thing is,
his record has been called into question. His statements have been called into question, right? And rightfully so. That comes with the territory of being in politics.
There you go.
Coming to the house and crying about that.
Step out of it. If you're thin-skinned, stay out.
The territory.
Stay out if you're thin-skinned.
No, but you and I have been attacked.
Hey. I still here.
Politicians. Okay, I'm still here too.
Well, you know what? You know what? They attack me, I flush them. You know, they say they're nonsense, I flush them. You know? But the thing is...
Flush that last caller again.
Flush that nonsense. No, that deserves to be flushed, man. Flush that, man.
Double flush.
Be careful of the United.
Flush that, man. And Minerva, can you get me?
Be careful of the United.
Get me the plunger. I think I need the plunger on that one. The bunch of nonsense that has to go to... Hey, I had to keep flushing.
That toilet sound like it's short.
Nonsense. But the fact is, in that statement, in his address, he said that he's following the footsteps, and he started naming a whole load of other prime ministers, and he says he follows in their footsteps. Well, guess what? You're actually following in the footsteps of Prime Minister Alan Chastanet, because he went before you. And history will show the great prime minister that Alan Chastanet will have been. That's right, future perfect tense. The great prime minister that Alan Chastanet has been and will have been. Okay? Tom Adams and this one. And I called them out before. Barack Obama, George Bush, Bill Clinton, what's his name? Henry Ford, what's his name? Richard Nixon, Donald Trump. Every single one of them has been called all types of names. Alan Chastanet is no exception. But Philip J. Pierre feels he has some special skin, some special thinness to his outer dermis, that you can't say anything about him. Okay, people call me all kind of names. People call people all kind of names. Grin and bear it, man. Comes with the territory, like Minerva said. Get over yourself. Get over yourself. Move on. Exactly. You ever hear Alan Chastanet come and cry? Stop the foolishness, man. Stop it, man. Stop that, man. According to our caller. Let me get into the messages coming in fast and furious. They don't want us to leave today. Next message. Good morning, Norbert and Minerva. I realize that the Honorable Prime Minister gave us 5 to stay alive, but Philip J. Pierre has offered 5 to die. Next one. We're not taking calls on the WhatsApp number. Let me see here. Next one. Let's go to this one. Can you please play the song Nothing to Do, Nowhere to Go by Ras Les I? It's a reggae song. The song is for the leader of the opposition. Next one. Philip J. Pierre will not travel out of St. Lucia because he only have a passport for Masha. Next one. Norbert, two things. One, when Philip J. Pierre talks about himself and his mother, he is throwing that at Kenny and Hille. Two, they all said that they will be undoing everything that this government has done, including revoking all citizenships granted. Well, they actually said that they will review all citizenships. I don't know how they're going to do that because they're going to have to pay money to do all of that. But this just, folks, this is just pandering. Pandering to people. Good morning, Norbert and Minnie Vera. What Hille said in Dominica is treasonous compared to what Belrose said. The thing is, Belrose should have gone on to develop her point. What she was saying is that she is not the representative and therefore not accountable for the constituency because when she was not voted in, her vision was not bought into. In fact, isn't it Philip J. Pierre who's always complaining? Who's saying they have to consult him to do things and everything? Now that you have the opportunity... Yeah. Good morning, Mr. Norbert and Miss Minova. Blessed day to you both. I just want to say that the SLP...
Norbert, you're having fun mispronouncing my name.
No, that's how they spell it. Call it like it is. Just want to say that the SLP is in the darkness and we got the Flabo to give them the light. Hence the reason they want to be in the Flabo's seat. But we given them 17 not. They are too arrogant and got no vision. I have not seen anything they got to put on the table for people of St. Lucia. You all are doing a great job and continue to educate the people of St. Lucia. Bravo! I must say, stay strong, stay safe, stay blessed. And we will continue to pray for the Prime Minister and his cabinet. Next one. Hey, good morning to Nabit and Maneuver.
I'm so happy somebody misspelled your name now.
Nabit and Maneuver. And they actually spelled that one correct. Maneuver. I want Miss Belrose to turn Philip J. Pierre. What? And give him a good looking. That's all he deserves. I have no idea what that person is trying to say there. Okay, good morning, Norbert and Minerva. Pierre has 6 months experience 50 times. That was earlier. And then you have another message. The quality of Pierre's presentations are indicative of his refusal to broaden his experiences. This is vital if you are in community service. He has also gone full circle. A number of years ago, he vowed to block any attempts by a female supporter of his party to progress in his profession because she called him a little black boy. Not St. Lucia Labour Party, it is the St. Lucia Liar Party. Okay. Nenen, you have no sentiments. Don't call our call-in program station. Norbert, flush Nenen. Who's that? That must be that lady. Yeah. Norbert and Minerva, I know that Philip J. Pierre is jealous and he hates our Prime Minister. I am worried that they might just attack the Prime Minister. I'm not reading that about Philip J. Pierre. Yes. So, folks, certain things I will allow, but certain things I'm not going to propagate, okay? All right, it's just in my judgment. Good morning, Mr. Williams and Miss Ward. Please don't let this woman spoil the radio station. Since when that's her liming spot. We don't need her voice. Charlie has had enough of her. Don't ask for Tim. He gave her a nickname, Nenen. Isn't that an embarrassment for her? Papi Show. Mr. Williams.
I have had enough of her.
Yeah.
I believe in people having their opportunity to speak and to voice their opinion, but don't come and tell me who I am. I don't know this lady and you don't know me. Don't call this show and tell me who I am or what you perceive I am, all right? Or who I align to. You don't know anything about me. Caller. So please don't call this radio station again and tell me about myself. If you call in, make your point and be done with it. Don't address me because you do not know me.
And she needs the flush again, man.
careful of the United...
That was just for you. That was just for you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Norbert.
Okay. Mr. Williams, good morning. This woman is a ferocious person. All of a sudden, your radio station is her liming spot. We don't want her. Flush her very early. I was told she was a school teacher, and this is how she behaves, being a pest on the People's Radio station. Shame on her, disrespecting teachers. Shame on her. Yeah, is she retired? Maybe she needs something to do in her retirement. I don't know. Go to the beach, go meditate, do some Tai Chi, take up gardening, something. Norbert, I sense desperation in the voice of this hack. Pip is talking about attack. Who has been attacked more than our Prime Minister? The SLP were the ones who started the race talk. Now they can't deal with it when it's coming to them. The Labour Party hates history because their own history expresses who they are. This caller should not be given time to spew nonsense. Hey, we're getting to the end of it. I notice Claudia is a woman bully. Why does she keep attacking Minerva? Next one.
Wrong person to attack. Wrong person.
Go, Minerva. Your response to that ferocious and cantankerous woman was spot on. Next one. Good morning. Tell Philip J. Pierre he is a public figure. If he doesn't want people to scrutinize him, please leave politics now. Okay, that was the last. Oh, we have another message. Flush Nenen for me, please. Norbert, the hacks are listening. Yes, they are. We have another call. Good morning. You're on the air. Let's keep it real.
Yes, Norbert. Let me tell you, the reason why the lady is calling...
You need to speak into the mouthpiece, caller. You sound like you're in the background there somewhere.
Okay. The reason why this lady is calling is good news for the United Workers' Party.
Yeah.
Because there is a swing right now going to their direction.
Yeah.
So they're everywhere now commenting, calling station and trying to see whether people could sympathize with them and try to make a case and attacking people. But there's a swing right now. It goes into the United Workers' Party.
Yeah, they're feeling it. Yeah. Yeah,
and that is good news.
Think so. Yeah.
Good news, good news. And Minerva, do not let this woman get to you. But the only part let me tell you the part I could give this lady. You know when people die? You know that thing when you go to church, they give you the program, it have the pictures? I could give this woman a medal for that. She could tell you every boy that died in this country. She probably have a house full of leaflets. No, that's serious, She's good at that. But there is a swing right now, and it's very troubling for the St. Lucia Labour Party, and especially for that woman.
Yeah.
But before I leave, I would like you to flush her.
Yeah, you want me to flush her? She needs a flush. Yeah. Needs to flush.
Now, the only thing before I leave, my lady, you got what you deserve. Thank you very much, Norbert.
Thank you very much. Have a great day, caller.
Thank you, caller.
Well, that is indicative. That is indicative, and we have another call. Let's get that one. Good morning, you're on the air. Let's keep it real.
Hi, good morning, Norbert.
Morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning to you, Minerva.
Good morning, sir.
Where do I begin?
I don't know. At the beginning, let's try that.
But
nice
I was
voice,
having a
by the way.
conversation with a former teacher of mine.
You said what? She is a former teacher of yours?
No, I was having a conversation with a former teacher of mine. And the conversation went towards politics and local politics.
Yeah.
And he said to me that Philippe J. Pierre will not be a good leader because he was never a good follower. He said to be a good leader, you have to be a good follower. And what he was saying, if your leader is bringing you down a primrose path, you have to be man enough to get out and say, no, this is not good. While it may look rosy, but it's treacherous. And then you get out of that following, and then you lead. But he has never done that. And that is beginning to show. But I'm going touching on the thing about the xenophobia. We have to be extremely, extremely, extremely careful that we do not let this thing take roots, not just in our politics, but in our country as a whole. For those of us who lived overseas, and you stole a bit of my thunder earlier, Norbert,
I did.
You hacked back to when you lived in the U.S. You saw and you experienced racism, and you leave these countries to come back here and to get involved or see people try and promote that kind of nonsense.
Raise that ugly head in St. Lucia.
It is not good. If you have not lived it and experienced it, it's even hard to put it into words. And we should not at any time tolerate xenophobia or racism in our country.
At all. Shame on them.
I've met people overseas in Europe who left places like the Middle East and the Asian subcontinent to run away from Sharia law.
Yeah.
And when they came to live in those metropolitan countries overseas, and when they saw that people from their own countries trying to promote it, they got really, really scared. Because that was the kind of thing that they ran away from.
Yeah.
So we have to be extremely careful here. And not think talking about the blackness and this and that or whatever, and white people. I remember reading a book years ago called Have No Fear. It was the Charles Evers story. You must have heard about the Charles Evers and Medgar Evers.
Yeah. There's a college named after him in Brooklyn, Medgar Evers College.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And these guys were really integral in the civil rights movement and the NAACP in America.
Yeah.
And they spoke about the white people who really gave them chances. You know, like that Charles Evers, I think he got his break on the radio.
Yeah.
You know, for white families. There were white families who actually treated them very, very, very well. And white people, we had white lawyers in the NAACP.
Caller, can I interrupt you for a second? Since you brought that up about white people, let me tell you something. I have worked with, and since the conversation is that, because I don't like to use it, but in the context of now, I have worked with white people that, in my estimation, they were more black than black people. I have met white people who have helped black people when black people were against black people, I'm just going to leave that there because that is a whole other discussion. And how many times have we heard about the civil rights movement and a whole load of other movements, even with the Botham Shem Jean situation, that people say if the white people don't get involved in those demonstrations and the undertakings that black people want to push, it ain't going nowhere. So we all have to come together. Go ahead, caller.
Yes. So I was just saying that we need to be careful, and Pete, in the position that he holds at the moment, I don't think he should let politics get the better of him, but he should let his humanity, if he has any, come to the fore and stop that nonsense, that racism nonsense. We really do not want that thing to go. We have a lot of Indians of India. If you see me, Norbert, nobody knows that my grandfather is Indian.
Yeah.
So will you tell me I'm not St. Lucian? So we have to cut this thing down. Anyway, that's my contribution.
Thank you very much, caller. Thank you for keeping it real.
Yeah.
Have a great day. Thank you so much. Another call. Good morning, you're on the air. Let's keep it real.
Yes, good morning, sir.
Morning, how are you?
I'm great, man. I'm good.
Okay.
But one of the things that really get to me this morning,
the Prime Minister.
Caller, can you turn down your radio or your device a little bit? It's coming back on here.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, please. Thank you.
I was saying,
yeah,
the Prime Minister has 16 other members.
Yes.
And then why is it that they are not attacking some of his ministers? Why is Alan Shafley attacking? They attacking them on about his complexion. So what I'm saying again, these fellas should blame their parents, Brother Nobi.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? I mean, if you don't have a light complexion, who you ought to blame? You cannot pass the ridge on the Prime Minister.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So, and again, I don't want to stay too long because I'm very upset. Even the woman, this woman, she's like
pupul. You know what a pupul?
Yes, it's what, a termite, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
This woman always calling the other radio station and always trying to bully people around.
Yeah.
And that lady's supposed to maybe stay in her room and pass her rosary. And I want you to flush that woman again, not with clean water, with some dirty water. Okay, flush her twice for me, please.
No, but you should have no more water left.
I don't know who she is, so.
Yeah, but you need to.
Neither do I.
Flush her for me. And give me that tune afterwards. No damn sit for them.
Yeah.
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 Because right now they're upset. I'm going to make sure jack up their pressure because you cannot call our station and make that kind of a
the
statement.
people's station.
Because
yeah.
you see these people right now they are wage. That's the fastest word. Like they are upset. So you need to play that tune for me, please, so that their pressure can go up
yes.
sky high.
Okay. Thank you very much, caller. Have a great day.
Thank you, caller. Have a great day.
There we go. Not a damn seat for them. We have a call coming in. Good morning, you're on the air. Good morning.
And Minnova, good morning.
Oh, caller, you gotta do something about that wind blowing in your phone if you're driving or something.
Okay, sorry, I'll stop.
Or turn up your window. Yeah.
Okay. Anytime anybody, white or black, talking about race now, you're not civilized. Mm-hmm. You agree?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And the next thing about it right now, the lady is Emma's wing.
Okay.
Zella
sounds very much like her, you know.
That's why she behaves like that.
I always thought so. She sounds very much like her. Thank you.
I will talk to you next time.
Thank you very much. Have a great day. Thank you.
Thanks, caller. Have a good one. Bye.
How many seats they getting? Which ones they getting? Whoopsie, mama. Good morning. You're on the air. Let's keep it real.
Morning, Norbert.
Morning, sir. How are you?
Norbert, the Prime Minister was in opposition. From the time he became leader of the United Workers Party, he has been attacked.
Yeah.
Left, right, and center.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay? Now, I sit back and I'm wondering, the Diboules, the Devots, the Carrascos, these people build this country. These people made their contributions. They have their children who are born and bred here.
Yeah.
With the same pigmentation like the Prime Minister.
Yeah.
So you're telling me, and they are educated, so you're telling me they cannot come into politics? That's what it is. That's what it has come to. It is their choice to come and serve St. Lucia, which is their place of birth. Because of their skin pigmentation, they cannot enter politics. No, but
according to Philip Pierre, apparently not.
This is ridiculous. It is. But what's former Prime Minister Kenny Anthony? What the pigmentation of some of his brothers? So what you telling me? They should stay out of come and make a contribution towards St. Lucia? Another thing, the supporters, the Labour Party, to tell the supporters who are working for the Shasnays, resign their job, don't vote because because their pigmentation do not go to work for them. That's what I want them to do. Have a nice day, people.
Thank you very much, caller. Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you, caller.
Hudson Philip fell apart.
I love this song.
So do I.
Good morning, you're on the air. Let's keep it real.
Good morning, Norbert.
Good morning.
Good morning, Never.
Good morning.
Good morning, caller. How are you?
Fine. Me say you're really busy because now I trying to call the line I can get through.
I know that voice.
Yes, of course you know that voice. Me never. You know what I don't understand about the SLP supporters? They have all their shows, spreading all the propaganda. You'll never find any UWP supporter calling their shows and trying to, get involved. We stay away from their things. We don't call their shows to comment, to say anything. Yet still, the lady calls all shows to do for UWP to try and put people down. The lady getting on like a real bully for an elderly lady. The lady needs to cool out herself. You understand?
Caller, I don't mind her calling and having her.
But she always on Waje when she calls any station.
And no, but the part that annoys me is that I don't know this lady and she does not know me. Whatever she thinks she knows about me is stuff she's heard She doesn't know me. So do not call me and tell me about myself. Don't tell me about who I am. Hey.
The lady does that to everybody. The lady, I don't know if where she gets the credit from. The lady monitors every show. And the minute you say one thing about the Labour Party, the lady calls and she goes berserk. I mean, you support your party, but you cannot, if somebody says something, like she's talking about Ian, talk about Audio Labs. Of course the Labour Party said that they were going to close down Audio Labs. Of course there have been talk shows where they say about IFM to close and all kinds of things like that.
Yes.
You understand? So when she come and asking Ian questions where she knows well. Because I'm sure she was one of them who was all over Audio Labs, all of a sudden now, you know. The lady, I mean, out of respect, I know the lady, out of respect for the lady needs to respect herself. She needs to stop embarrassing herself like everybody who now team give her nickname Ninen, everybody calling you Ninen. You need to, you know, the lady needs to understand herself, support your party. But you cannot be calling talk shows and want to bully people and want to tell people how to run their show. The only person that entertained that lady is Andre, you know. I don't know for what. Everybody else seem tired of hanging upon her.
But you know what, caller? Andre can never be prime minister of this country. He's the wrong complexion, man. He's too shabby and he likes shabbings already.
And another thing, I hate this race thing. Why are we doing that? Shasne's mother is a white woman. Shasne's father is a black man. Kenny Anthony's mother is a black woman. His father was a white man. So why are we doing that race thing? When Kenny was there, and they want to say Shasne that started that matter thing. You understand? It was never a problem when Kenny was there. Healer is a fair complexion. You all don't have a problem with Healer. You all didn't have a problem with Kenny. Why you all have a problem with Alan Chasney? Alan Chasney is as much solution as all of us. And even more than
ring the bell on that one, please, Norbert.
Huh?
Ring the bell on that one, please, Norbert. I asked Norbert to ring the bell.
Yes.
He's just as much St. Lucian as all of us.
Yes. And the contribution his family has brought into St. Lucia, even the white he have there now, the Duboulets, these are people who employ hundreds, thousands of people, give people
over the
years. For
thousands,
their family and things like that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So why are we doing this? Why? Just because of politics?
Bought properties, educated the children, based on the employment people like Michael Shasney and the Duboulets have created for them. How many solutions have done that?
That racist thing, there's a guy on Facebook, all he can talk about is race. Race and black and this one black and that one black man and slave. How they call it house slave.
But that is the division the Labour Party has been
creating.
What is
tacitly endorsed
that we need to stand against.
But I will tell them something. According to the late Bob Marley, emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our mind. We need to emancipate. All the slavery on, unless we don't emancipate our minds, it will never leave us alone. And it's it's damaging us. It's not doing us any good. Because what is happening, it goes all over the world right now with technology, and we should be ashamed of ourselves. We have children overseas. We have family. Our children went to school overseas. You understand? We have family overseas. Sending a little stipend for us, a little money for us every month end to keep the economy going so we can live. When you come and talk about foreigners, everything is foreigners.
Caller, when you see you have all of these school exchange programs and you have some St. Lucians go over there and you have sports and you have all these international events and everything, you have cricket, what do you think all of that is? To bridge the divide for people to come together so that, you know, when you're in government this year, in 20 years' time, hey, you know, I met you at school in Martinique or in the States or whatever, and people have this bond, they can work better together. But what Philip J. Pierre is putting a wedge.
To understand how other people live.
Yes.
That's what travel does. That's what international exposure does.
When the Labour Party was in power, they never gave contracts to any foreigners. They never had any dealings with any foreigners. It's only UWP that are doing it. These fellas need to look back and ask themselves questions with the nonsense they're doing there. Anyway, I think I'll give somebody else a chance.
Thank you very much, caller. Thank you.
The two of you.
Have a great day.
Thank you, caller.
Good show as usual.
Right.
Thank you.
Good show as usual.
Thank you.
Thank you.
4560993. I couldn't even say the number and it's ringing. Good morning. You're on the air. Let's keep it real. Yes, please.
Good morning. Norbert?
Yes.
You see that Ninin lady? She cannot be my Ninin because we are about the same age. I know her from small. Do not let that woman take that show over.
Well, caller, you know that ain't gonna happen.
whenever you hear that woman voice is just flush her. Do her like Rick. Spray her. Or flush her.
Yeah, right? Rick has his
that woman, she does call Timothy sometimes. And the reason why I think Timothy gave her that name is because of the way how she speaks to Timothy. Controlling.
Yeah.
Because they said after a mother is a godmother. So godmother is Nenen. So the way how she speaks to Timothy address her as a Nenen because she's not Timothy's mother. So obvious that she's Timothy Nenen. And she had a problem with that. Every show, that woman, I don't know, that woman, according to the fella that called a while ago, that poo-poo lady just tried to
poo-poo is a pest that
yes.
is on chickens, right? Like fleas or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
We do not want her on our show. Tell her call Yadi and them or Richard Frederick. Do not let her take over our show. She's not welcome. Just tell her she's not welcome.
Okay, thank you, caller. Thank you very much. Have a great day.
Nice
day. Thank you.
Well, over here, keeping it real is inclusive. Doesn't matter who you are. As long as you're respectful, it's okay.
Yes.
Good morning, you're on the air. Let's keep it real.
Yes, good morning.
Morning.
This girl, her name is Claudia Edwards. She's not the one who is the teacher. But there's another one who is visually impaired. And she's a retired teacher. And she's just as bad as she is. Because Friday I heard her call straight up and saying that the UWPs are saying why Labour don't just stay out of the elections and allow the UWP to rule.
Well, you know what, caller?
Let's so well with the economy.
You know what, caller? Let's not even waste our time with those people. Yeah. There are more important things to talk
so why
about.
don't UWP set back and let Labour take over?
Really? And give us what we had there when they were there?
Labour there because we want them to get the beating.
Thank you very much, caller.
Them to bow out. Let them stay there to get the beating.
Yeah. Thank you. Have a great day.
Troublemakers.
Thank you, caller. Have a blessed day.
We don't need them calling our show. Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you very much.
Have a great one, caller.
456-0931. 456. I have another one. Good morning. You're on the air. Let's keep it real.
Good morning, sir, and good morning, Minerva.
Good morning.
I love to hear that.
Good morning, sir.
Minerva, I wish you'd be on that station every day. Every time I see that, my heart goes in place. Now, let me tell you. No, but you don't have caller ID?
There is caller ID. Caller, let me tell you something, caller.
Yes.
I am not going to be monitoring that to see who or try and guess whose number and all of this thing is.
Yeah.
If you can make a valuable contribution, that's fine. Once you step across the line, I'll deal with you.
That lady doesn't make any valuable contribution. Let me tell you. She used to call News Spin, and into my hair, I turn up the volume of the radio.
Yeah.
When I know she's gone, I switch it back on. I don't listen to her. I don't want to hear her, but she annoys me to the bone.
Yeah.
You understand? And I don't want her to be to call a station because she annoys me and that's our station. Don't allow her to call that station. Period. Just like Mondays. They just annoy people.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, caller.
Have a blessed day.
You too. Thank you. Thanks for keeping it real.
Have a good one, caller. Thank you.
Yeah, 456-0931. Let's get to the messages here. Let's see. Good morning, Mr. Norbert and Miss Minerva. Please remind our youth to keep their focus and don't be swayed by the tactics of the red millibugs to now embrace Ojo Labs. As a proud St. Lucian, I embrace the vision of our Prime Minister, and last night was the icing on the cake. Not one cake, a 3-tiered times many. Bravo to Mr. PM and Mr. Guy Joseph. Thank you. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Let's keep it real.
Good morning, Nobby.
Yes, good morning.
And good morning, Minerva, the great Minerva.
Morning, caller.
Great.
Hi.
And welcome to the cabinet of
Sky FM.
Sky FM. Now, Nova.
Thank you for welcoming me.
Nobby.
Yes, sir.
You should change Minerva, and I don't like that.
How I did that, man?
Yeah, but you didn't give her the bell when she hit that devilish nenen. I really like Minerva's.
Well, she got flushed, so I think that makes up for the bill.
Only one flush you give her?
No, man, there's been about 5.
Yeah,
I think Norbert himself ducked for cover.
Norbert,
I think you ducked for cover yourself.
Yeah, we're standing by you to defend these devilish people.
Thank you very much,
yes,
caller.
You have a lot of supporters.
Thank you, caller.
Yes.
I appreciate your support. Thank you, caller.
The next time, give it to her harder. Harder.
Thank you. Okay. Have a great day. Thank you very much. 4560931. We're going to go up until 9 o'clock, folks. So get your calls in, get your messages in via WhatsApp. WhatsApp number is 485-0931. Of course, we're 93.1 around the island. You don't need to touch that dial. Good morning to the policemen. Good morning to all the taxi drivers. Good morning to the minibus drivers. Good morning. You're on the air. Let's keep it real.
Morning, caller.
Good morning.
Hello, how you doing?
Good
afternoon for me. I'm calling from London.
Okay.
I've been watching your show, Norbert.
Oh, thank you very much.
The very best.
Thank you. Okay, go ahead, caller.
Yeah, go ahead. I've been watching the speeches that Guy Joseph made.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for burying the SLP.
Mm-hmm.
It's unfortunate I couldn't attend the funeral.
Which funeral is that, caller?
The funeral of the SLP that Guy Joseph presided on.
Oh, you mean he buried them in the house?
Yes, definitely.
You have to listen to your phone, caller. Listen to your phone. Don't listen to your device.
Yeah.
You got to listen to your phone.
Hello?
Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. I have a lot of connections in Soufrière.
Mm-hmm.
My MP in Soufrière has been doing very, very well.
Mm-hmm.
I have supported a lot of what the UWP and
the current
compared to the SLP have done.
Yeah.
Prime Minister Alan Schaffner have done a very, very good job and continue to do a very good job. And honestly, I hope, I'm keeping my fingers crossed, that we have a repeat of Barbados, put St. Lucia all of yellow. Honestly.
Okay.
The whole of St. Lucia wants the...
Not
yellow.
a damn seat for them.
Not a damn set for them.
Okay. Thank you very much, caller. Have a great day.
Jean.
Oui.
Anyway, I wish you all the best.
Thank you very much.
See you soon, Norbert.
Thank you.
Caller, have a great day.
Blessings.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Have a great day.
From London.
Yeah, all the way from London.
This election was like war among them party. When I was...
Good morning, you're on the air. Let's keep it real. Good morning, you're on the air. Okay, that one's not ready yet. Not a damn seat for them. How many seats they getting? How many seats? Come on, tell me. How many seats? Oh, gosh. Whoopsie mama, whoop. So let's get back to the messages. Good morning, my people. Fantastic day to you all. SLP is going down the drain. They have no respect. The world is listening. They fail to realize St. Lucians are not stupid.
Hello.
Good morning, you're on the air. Let's keep it real.
Good morning, Norbert. How are you doing,
Good morning, doing good.
All right. Norbert, that racist card, Philip Pierre and the Kool-Aid gang, the racist card that they're playing, it's just a card of defeat. Racism is fear. Fear that you see somebody that is about to take your reign. That is what it's all about. That is just what it's all about. And they're pushing it, and they're pushing it.
Absolutely right.
You know,
You're
they
absolutely
see
right.
it already.
I think about it that
fear
way,
is
but you're
there.
right. At the root of that is fear.
Yeah,
You're right,
yeah.
caller.
You know, it is there. It is all over. You can see it, and they're trembling.
And the fear
When you
breeds
watch
desperation.
They cannot even face the PM when he giving them the facts. They cannot stay in the house. That's why they are comfortable in their own skin.
Chalet.
Because they see they let down their own people already. They let down the people they're trying to make believe is a racist thing that is going on. They let us down
Caller,
already.
I'll tell you
with
something.
scandal.
I'll tell you something, Caller. I witnessed just about all of them on St. Lucian's Watch. But I saw, number one, Moses Jean-Baptiste is always hyper in the house. Let me just be nice and say that. Enragé in our parlance. But his last presentation in the house, I detected something different. I felt defeat from him. He looked tired. He looked overwhelmed.
Deflated.
He looked scared. I have never seen him like that. And I think, and then of course they were throwing back and forth in the house. Well, Vincent London was in the house, and that's the UWP candidate who's going up in Vieux Fort North against Moses Jean-Baptiste, and he was in the gallery. And I'm telling you, they kept taunting him. London is here, London we going. And the look on his face, I have never seen that before. I see it as being scared and the look of defeat. I see he's worn out. He's worn out. Anyway,
yeah. These fellas are so afraid. The racism in them, it shows like the white flag. Like Guy said, they put white stars on the road. They defeat, it is there. The fellas cannot even stay in the house to debate election policies.
What they were elected to do.
First time in the history of St. Lucia, I have seen gutter politicians in my life. I have never seen that. They cannot debate policies. It's all about I. It's sickening. These fellas cannot go on no stage and represent a country because they have no policies. If it's based on wickedness that they're running, and St. Lucia, if in our mind we are wicked and we want to elect them, fine. But if it's based on policies, these fellas have no way to come back and say that they're political leaders and they're a political party that's leading a country. They have nothing. They have nothing to show. Hence the reason they bring in racists. That's the last card they have, and they're going to play it, and they're going to play it hard.
Yeah.
They're going to play it hard, but like I told the Prime Minister last night, do not give up on them. He have them where he want them. He have them where he want them. They have to stay there. And everybody, by playing the racist card, is exposing them more again. It's exposing them, so they should have never brought that up. They should have just played politics and just finish it that, because we all know politics is a game. But what you see they're bringing in there is reality, is hatred. That one is not a game. That one is not a game. It's not a game. They have nothing and they're hungry. You see, Labour Party said that's just a disgust. And you see that lady, you see that calling there. Prevent that lady from calling the show. Screen her number. Get it. When she calls, just do not pick it up, period. Because I said that lady on all talk shows. All talk shows. These are the people that entertaining, what's their name there? Andre Paul and them show. I forget the name of the show. Calling and saying that Sir John never did anything for St. Lucia. What is wrong with these people? These people are stooping so low to say that Sir John Compton never did nothing for St. Lucia or his constituency. And right about now, all of them living in what he did, his sweat, his wisdom, his plan, they're all fighting for it. That's a disgrace to St. Lucians. I remember when Nelson Mandela came down. It was just about 97 when Kenny won that election. And I can never forget his speech. He said he came down to see the man that took a country from where it was to bring it where it is. When he came down. But unfortunately, Kenny Anthony and his Kool-Aid gang, they were there. He didn't get a chance to see Sir John in that seat. These people are just deceitful people. That's why I tell you, Richard Frederick, I like him because he knew them. I like Richard Frederick in the UWP but because I know he could have stand up to Kenny Anthony, but when I knew about his crookedness, I left and I go. He's not wanted there, but he knew them. That's why he called them the mighty deceivers. You know, all these men, they are wicked people, they are deceivers, and the people of St. Lucia need to open their eyes on these people. You see, for now, Labour is dead, they're finished, and we're giving them 17 lots. By the grace of God, they're not coming there to ruin St. Lucia because these fellas have no policies, they have nowhere to take St. Lucia. They're just greedy, they want power, they want to come back and continue the scandal to bring us back in the gutter. No. We are on a good note. We're coming out from where we were, we have to shine. And with our Prime Minister at the head, we will shine and we will go through. 2022, Shasney again.
Thank you very much, caller. We have to take a run.
Thank you, caller.
Thank you. Have a great day. Thanks for calling. Thanks for keeping it real. They going mad. Mad. All they trying, they going mad. Mad. And it's looking bad. Hate for my brother man. The best I can.
So I don't see why they wanna see me down. But universally I am safe and sound. So they're going mad.
Mad. All they trying. Sing a man named Novas. Give me a little thing then. Give me a little thing. We'll take this one last call for now and finish off the messages. Good morning, you on the air. Let's keep it real.
Yes.
Good morning, Mr. Williams.
Morning, how are you doing? Make it quick.
Good morning, lovely Maneuver. Good morning, Banari.
Good morning, Hillary. How are you?
Well, that's it's gone there. So we're going to hold off on the calls and finish off the messages now. Okay. Oh, my gosh. Minerva, my darling, the lady will never fit in your shoes, so please don't waste your energy on her. She's a lost case. Okay, next one. Can't remember her being a teacher. She worked at Hotel Okay, we don't need to get that. Another troublemaker. Norbert, we all know the politician who started and has been pushing the race card. I know Philip Pierre personally, and I am shocked that Philip Pierre is now following that man. He talks about his parents. I think they would be turning in their graves at what is emanating from their son's mouth. Minerva, you are too classy for this Mama Roro. Okay. Good morning, Norbert and Miss Ward. If my memory serves me right, the same SLP has called Guy all kinds of names, and that includes the PM. Okay, there's a quote here somebody sent. This quote for the leader of the opposition. A shark in a fish tank will grow 8 inches, but in the ocean, it will grow to 8 feet or more. The shark will never grow in its environment. The shark will never outgrow its environment, and the same is true about you. Many times we're around small thinking people, so we don't grow. Change your environment and watch your growth.
Thank you, Texter. No, but that Texter needs the bill.
Yeah,
That's a good point. Bill for that Texter. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, next one. The SLP has been the ones who started the racism affair. When they lost governance and our visionary Prime Minister took the reins, the last election was about the Shasneys and the Labour Party. So can he tell us what will this elections be about? Hi Norbert, maybe we can get a local Calypsonian to remake that song with the local politicians in it instead. Not a damn seat for them. Next one. Good morning, Norbert. Good morning, Norbert and Minerva. This morning on another program, that same woman said you can sue the cruise ship company if they don't allow workers to come without a vaccine. Let us assume they allowed you to come without a vaccine. Will Miami accept you without it? Next one. Hi, Norbert. You've got a good singing voice, especially with that song. Couldn't tell the difference. Thank you so much. Let's hear Minerva.
A big show, as they had the crowd behind everywhere they go. So they thought that crowd was bored. They say they're gonna cut the throat. Sparrow start to ball.
How many seats for them, Minerva? Not a damn seat for them. How many? Sing it. How many? How many seats for them? Well, I say they get in 3. Rat Island, Maria Island, and Frigate Island. We're going to take one last call. It's on the hook. See if you can get in. 456-0931. One last call before we make it out of here. 456-0931. And there's that final call for today. Good morning, you're the last call today.
I made it.
You made it.
Where is this university situated?
The university?
Yeah, everywhere, every time you'll open your mouth, you're educating the fellas, man.
Yeah, special admission. You have to have a radio.
And that's the danger in it, because you're educating them.
Well,
let
caller.
the fellas stay dumb, man. Let them stay dumb.
Well, what are you going to do?
Leave them like that. That's how they are. Okay, Nobby, have a nice day. You and Minerva, enjoy the rest.
Thank you, caller.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, caller.
That's Mr. Branch.
Okay. With the branch on the tree. Okay.
Yes, you know the branch of all the leaves.
Okay.
Oh, Mr.
Thank you
Branch,
very much.
okay.
Have a great day.
Have a good one.
Okay, you're welcome.
Somebody sent me a message and said today is Peter Tosh Day. Yeah? Peter Tosh Day. Thank you very much, caller. Have a great day.
Thank you.
And they asked me to play If You Live. Okay, we'll take that one since I was slow on getting that here. Good morning, you're on the air. Let's keep it real.
Good
morning. Morning. I can't go off here right now. We're just wrapping up the show. Okay? You'll have to give me a call back in about 5 minutes. Okay? Yes. Thank you very much. Okay, folks. Somebody asked that today is Peter Tosh Day, and special request to the SLP. If you live house, don't throw stones. Yeah. I think this applies very well to them. Special request. Special request. Don't throw stones. You remember that one, eh? Take blows, brother, don't throw blows. Said if you live. Said if you live in a glass house, don't throw stones. Can't take blows. Don't throw blows. Drop it. Give me some backgrounds there, man. Give me some backgrounds there. Give me some background vocals there, man. Come on.
Leave me alone, Norbert.
Come on, just that.
Norbert, leave me alone.
Don't throw stones. And if you can't take blows, don't throw blows. Well, folks, that is it for today. You want to wrap up there now, Minerva? That's it.
Yeah, I want to leave St. Lucians with 2 quotes as I leave. One from Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. We must learn to live together as brothers and sisters, or perish together as fools. The second one, coming together is a beginning. Keeping together is progress. Working together is success.
There you go.
And just a reminder to St. Lucians that we are all St. Lucians working towards common goals. And do not let politicians divide us.
Well, there you are, folks. Profound. From Minerva Ward all the way. Well, we come to the end of another morning edition of Keeping It Real. Today, Tuesday. And don't forget, folks, coming up tonight, 8:30 p.m. on Hot 7 TV, channel 117. Keeping It Real with yours truly right here, up there. Tonight, it's going to be simulcast on Sky FM 93.1. And all the videos, all the clips, more action tonight, folks. More action than you can shake a stick at. Thank you so much for joining me and Minerva. Once again, she's here on Friday, Tuesdays and Fridays. And the morning edition, Keeping It Real, Monday to Friday, 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. Well, look at the time. Hope you have a wonderful day. Say bye-bye one more time, Minerva.
Bye, St. Lucia. Okay. Bye, Norbert. Have a
Okay,
great day,
bye-bye.
everybody.
You too.
Stay safe.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye. And we see some blue skies out there and puffy white clouds, and it's going to be another beautiful day in St. Lucia. We had a little bit of rain a while ago. Couldn't see the hill in the morning, but that's cleared up. And what's happening here right now in Castries, it's 84 degrees, going up to a high of 84. So I guess it's not going to get any hotter than this. Today, chance of rain minimal, 2%. 2% all the way up into this afternoon. The sun is going to be playing hide and seek with the clouds. And overnight, same thing with the moon. Rain showers tonight starting off somewhere around 10 o'clock and 25% chance of rain into the morning tomorrow, Wednesday. That's it for now, folks. Thank you so much for joining me. Those of you listening online, those of you watching on social media, on Facebook, on the Keeping It Real page, or on the Sky FM page, those of you watching on GVD TV, channel 115. Thank you so much for joining me. We've come to the end of another morning edition of Keeping It Real. Hope you have a wonderful day. Bye-bye. Later tonight. Coming up next. Hello everyone, I'm Norbert Williams, right here on Sky FM 93.1. Join me Monday to Friday, 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. for the morning edition of Keeping It Real. And on Tuesdays and Fridays, Minerva Ward joining me from Canada, right near the North Pole. Although it's cold over there, it's going to be hot in here. Don't you forget, Monday to Friday, 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. on GVD TV and streaming live on Facebook. Don't you miss it.
My mother sent us back. Sent us out of his breakfast to give us water. Still good.
Things were very difficult with my parents, and my mother opened a small bakery in the Castries area.
Because my father do everything he could do for me, not for himself, for me, personal. And from there, when I see my mom from yesterday, and I just remember my mother and my father every day, how they take it so hard to bring us up. And I seen from today there, I have two disabled children from mother. You might ask for freedom, and they don't want that freedom, you know.
My MP said that we would have a new wellness center. Here we are. It's almost finished.
My community said we needed a new wing to our secondary school. And my MP said yes.
My sister said she needed help to find a job, so my MP created a job fair.
Our athlete said we needed better sporting facilities.
A new early childhood development center.
My neighbors said.
My sister said.
The children said. Community said.
Roads and a new park. And my MP said.
Yes.
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 Of course.
Nou tout se yon fami an Micoud Nord. An nou kontine pou fè pogwe ek Antigale.
Crossfire, discussing the issues. Norbert Williams, Champagne, Dr. Secret, and Ring the Bell. Thursdays, 8 p.m. on Sky FM and GVD TV. Don't you miss it.
Micoud Nord family. Mamai Micoud Nord. Tune in to GVD TV 115 and Facebook Live this and every Tuesday for Let's Talk with Auntie Gail, where we will discuss what is happening in our constituency and the progress we have made so far. Anou pale epi Auntie Gail, tous les mardis à sous GVD TV, channel Yon 5. Micoud Nord, we've got this. Let's talk. Nous toutes, c'est yon famille à Micoud Nord.
I am she, I am he, I am me, I am we. Mwen se nou tout. As sure as the morning sun will blanket and then engulf the hills and the valleys, I know I will persevere. I always have and I always will. Paski ala would say che and hat is me that have that. For decades, I have awoken early. With the morning sun on my brow, I have collected my things, my tea, my cat clue and my fork. Me and my sons, my daughters, my dog and my mite. And we have walked. We have walked and we have run. We run the many miles it took to reach that place where the soil was rich. That place where we were to plant. That place where what we plant would grow. I know the smell of that earth all too well. I know the feel of that earth, for I am that earth.
Well, I'm a farmer. I've been a farmer for the longest while. I was an extension officer. The fact that I'm growing food to supply the nation, to give the people around, that alone makes me feel very good about the farming.
That fertile fortress from whose bosom we have filled our bellies. We have peddled it too. We sold it. Green, golden and grand, beautiful and majestic in the midday sun. For perhaps always see, you work the land on which you are born, and that is how you grow. And grow we did. He, she, me. Noted.
Right behind me there, where I'm sitting there, is the press. That's where after you harvest the cassava, you grit it. You press it, you put it in a bag, so you have that process, you press it. And after it is pressed, you take it to the house where you sieve it. You have a sifter where you sieve it fine, and then you put it in the caron. That's the platin, that's what we use to make the fluorine.
Mama told me ever since when that life is neither predictable nor always rosy. So, as the green faded and the roads lay forgotten, I lifted my eyes to the east, for I still can see. I see the sea beautiful. It is purple, golden, green, fish and sea moss? Sea moss, yes. Healthy, hearty, handy, just in time too, because it will go well with my chocolate that I with my own hands learn how to make from my own cocoa. I will pursue them. I will endeavor. I will not stop, because I will persevere and I will grow. Nutut, she, he, me, we. And all the while, I keep singing. I sing and I dance too. Sometimes my middle even split. And while I have found fame in sports, I am also known for my service. So as I jump, I kick, I bat and I bowl, I protect and I serve and I teach. And yes, I am still running. I run, not just because I can, and God knows I can, but because it reminds me too that from Prale to the Chumasi Bridge, everything in between is me. All the work is mine. All the joy is mine. And the tears, they are mine too. I still have strength. I still have pride. And although I have changed with the seasons, my essence persists. My culture resists and fights for its life. Parce que nous toutes c'est même. I am he, I am she, I am me, I am we. Now this is 2021. Unprecedented. A time of uncertainty, that's understood. A time of fear and of loss, but also a time for faith. I will lean on that which we have already built. He will stand. She will rise. We, nous toutes. Petit et piquant, jaune et rouge. Nous toutes ces chrétiens. We will do it. We will ride that wave, not just because we want to do it, but because we dare to do it together.